receive is, this is the power unit, which you've seen with a leaflet and what do you call it, a phase indicator. Please follow the procedure and do not expect any changes in the first few days, at least the first week. The units which has been tested for the Japanese people, they have seen and they saw it as a problem that the unit, what we call the meter, the meter used to measure the power, stopped measuring. And they wrote and they called us and said there is a problem. The meter is not working after 2 weeks. And we changed the meter and we have the same problem. I said this is what it's supposed to do. And this is the power unit. The car unit is more or less the same with a different structure inside. The only difference on it is says to you a car power system. So the car power can never be made mistaken by the house unit. It has a car unit on it. It's got a red and black cable to connect. I'll put this back in, I'm going to take it out again. And your house unit has this. As I said, you'll see no change as we see it. For the first couple of weeks, for the first week, you see nothing, but you still keep on consuming energy. But the long run is that the system will work and do its job. So the car unit cannot be used for the house unit, and the house unit cannot be worked for the car unit. This is important. This is what you're going to get. The white ones are the American market because they are of the different fireproof resistance standard to the European. And the Europeans are the blue one, which you've seen in the presentation. I presume, as normal, when you launch a product, we'll have teething problems, but overall, everything is more or less done. Some goods, due to what do you call it, shipping documents and certification for export from EU, are sitting with the what do you call it, with the customs, and we're trying to get these sorted out with the rest of the systems. So if you haven't received your systems, please be patient. They're all on their way. The production is completed. We'll meet all the delivery demands we have met. We have no problem with the production of these to be delivered. There is a slight delay, but it's all resolved. Partially with the customs, we changed some documents. They wanted new wording in the papers. They were complied with 2 days ago, and yesterday they came back with they want another, what do you call it, a specific number registration for export. So those are in action. It's holding things back for a couple of days, but more or less anything outside the EU should be completed as well by early next week. You have to follow the procedure the way it's set out. We add to these in the coming time, and the whole structure will be changed. We are testing these here live ourselves. If there is any problem, if there is any other thing we need to change, we most probably know before you do, before you connect up. The whole procedure is how simply we can provide enough to change the standard. From the day one, we keep on telling you, and I repeat, you have to go through the process. Don't put a very small light, like a small 50, 20 volt lamp, hoping to do the, what do you call it, the nano coating. Follow the procedure, increase the power till the nano coating is completed, then you see the results. In all the housing units we have tested, we've seen, it takes a week or two to start seeing the initial results. You consume some energy which you don't need at the beginning, but at the end, when the coating is done, justifies a little bit of increase in the voltage. So other people are making it. Try to understand how the system works. We cannot show it to you, but what we've done here on the table, there is a fan running and there is a light running. We have put a cascading unit, because most of you have only one unit. We have opportunity to have 2 units. So what we've done, we have put a fan on this end, and we put a 150 watt light in the center as a load, and one is connected to the plug. So here in the center, in the next couple of weeks, we expect to be able to load 5.5 watts of energy, kilowatt of energy. That's where we're increasing then from 2.2 or 2 kilowatt to 5 kilowatt. In a way, this is the furthest distance as you're doing it with your unit at home, and then you're moving up. With the cascading, we cover both ends at the same time. So we allow the whole thing to happen simultaneously. And we give you the results as we are. And as what we see, we changed from a single unit to a cascading unit this morning because it gives us to see the overall condition of the system. The car power units are the same. We test them, and they go, as we said, the first unit goes to the police force here in Italy, the people who protect us, and 1 unit is going to a car, what they call a transport company, which is getting organized by Giovanni. There are other announcements which I've seen, and people are asking us for direction. The major one is Bulgarian Cash Foundation. The Bulgarian Cash Foundation has been submitted by the notary and has been registered as an agreement. Bulgarian Cash Foundation has not been registered as a cash foundation in Bulgaria, so it's not a physical entity, it does not exist. It's a mutual agreement which is signed and notarized by a notary, and a public notary has registered the agreement, but Cash Foundation Bulgaria has never been registered. We told you when we received the documents from our team. They are correct in their conduct, but the only thing they haven't done, they have never registered the Cash Foundation Bulgaria as an entity in Bulgaria. Now it leaves what's going to happen. We have to see in our discussion, the Cash Foundation Bulgaria manufacturing has nothing to do with Cash Foundation Bulgaria. There are 2 different entities. We can set up a number of different manufacturing units in Bulgaria, and this is what we are doing. It has been called for a meeting of the people who are prepared to start the manufacturing as one group. We support them, and at the same time, we speak to the Cash Foundation people in Bulgaria, which we have 100% trust in, to see what, if they want to go with the manufacturing different, or they want to set up or register Cash Foundation Bulgaria as an entity in Bulgaria. If they don't do, then we transfer everything to a Cash Foundation registered organization that the benefits of the manufacturing in Bulgaria goes to the public, the nation of Bulgaria, what they call it, people. We have called those of you who registered to be a manufacturer. You'll receive an invitation to join the meeting in the coming days once your security check is done. And then in a Zoom condition, we explain how you can set up and how we can support you. The structure is very simple. We have separated the Cash Foundation as a non-profit organization away from the Cash Foundation manufacturing. This is for 2 reasons. I was explaining this to Rick, so with that we're going to explain it to you that you understand fully what's happening. Cash foundations as a non-profitable or non-profit organizations receive their funding maybe from public, but mainly from the profit made by the Cash Foundation manufacturers in the country. But Cash Foundations manufacturing have nothing to do with the Cash Foundations. The Cash Foundation manufacturing, where we sit at 51% shareholding and we give the right of the logo to be carried on their badge or on their product, will take 51% of the shareholding and the full control of the management, but leave it to the locals to do the running of the factories or the operation. Any profit which is part of the 51% of the Cash Foundation, we submit to the government of the nation to be taxed according to what it is, what they want to tax it for. This is the ethos which we work. If we don't pay our taxes, how can they support to keep the community? What is left after paying the national taxes is transferred as a donation to the cash foundation of the nation to run their affairs, the university, if they want free units, if they want to give charity, or whatever they want to do with. We set up the structure of the Cash Foundation's non-profitable organization is not, and it should never be used as a way to deviate from taxation. Was the use to rob Peter, to give Paul, when Peter and Paul are the same people. We are in the country to increase the assets of the nation and to support the needy. But at the same time, we are not there. Nobody, none of you who sets up the Cash Foundation and the cash manufacturing should ever go on the line of separating two, because I had this question a number of times, what's going to happen to the Cash Foundation if the Cash Foundation manufacturing is there and you're using it as non-profitable. Non-profitability Cash Foundation is to receive any income of the share of what is in my name or the Cash Foundation manufacturing management team to give the money from after taxation to the foundation to spend for the nation. Not a way to deviate and find a way not to pay taxes, to take it somewhere else, to do something else with it. And a lot of people have problems to understand this. You manufacture, we might have 2, 3 manufacturing companies. Here in Italy, we are negotiating and we're setting up 3 manufacturing companies for us. Good morning, Francois. You're right after 2 days. 40 kilometers took you 2 days to get. Oh, yeah. Welcome home. Sit down, please. Francois is the Cash Foundation from Canada. They're setting up the manufacturing in Canada. At the same time, he's the man who runs the outside of the Cash Foundation on a spaceship level in conjunction with another beautiful lady you met last time. Welcome. It took a long time. No, a long time. You found your luggage. Everything found. Okay. Welcome. So what happens? You set up your manufacturing. Doesn't matter how many in your country. In Canada, now we're looking at the Quebec side, the French speaking, which is run by Francois and Jeff Dupont and the others. And on the English side is run by Rick Raymond and the others who want to set up. We have 2 different manufacturing in Canada setting up, working, but one Cash Foundation as a structure of the organization. Whatever profit they make, it goes into the foundation and spent on the Canadian nation. Or when we set up all the directors of the Cash Foundation Manufacturing, they become a member of the Cash Foundation International Board of Directors of Manufacturing. So when the directors of the Cash Manufacturing come together, they decide what's going to happen internationally with the Cash Foundation Manufacturing and where they want to put the money in the donation or service or where they want to do. So the directors of the Cash Foundation Manufacturing become members of the board of the Cash Foundation International Manufacturing, and they have a say in how things are manufactured collectively and how the structure supports the foundations. The structure is set that no man will be in charge or in control. Collectively, your directors of manufacturing become the financial arms of the control of the finances of international organization of the whole foundation. So for the time being, in the next few weeks or few months, I sit at the head, but they have to start saying, and they'll realize the story themselves, they have a lot of say in doing it. And then, in so many ways, as we promised, one nation, one planet, one race, you all work together on providing and serving. So we make a United Nation out of the Cash Foundation without the need for United Nations by setting example that we don't need to rob, we don't need to create wars. The tools and equipment of the Cash Foundation will be used to create peace and to create a condition of comfort for those who don't have. So in so many ways, in coming time, we set up a United Nation instead of the Cash Foundation that Nations become the Keshe Foundation deciding for their members. And the board of directors of the United, what are called the United Foundation of the Keshe Foundation, will decide in conjunction with the manufacturing side where they want to put their efforts using the finances of the manufacturing side for peaceful application. So in a way, we're taking shape, in a way, what we said. So at the same time, we need to structure everything. Everything is coming together perfectly. In the next few weeks and months, you will start seeing what was been taken a long time to plan, and now it's going to execution. The teaching arm of the Keshe Foundation, which is the Spaceship Institute, will teach in every country. It will be headed by Marco. At the moment, he's taking over the responsibilities slowly, and it becomes an independent education, and more or less what we call as a chancellor or vice chancellor sits in the hand of Marco. He's planning everything in the background about the teaching, the website changes, and he's making his own team. And gradually I move out of the teaching, I become another teacher like the others. The Keshe Foundation manufacturing team is headed by Arman, and it's his job in the coming weeks to organize whatever needs to be done. The Keshe Foundation Innovation, Research and Development has gone to Brennan in Philippines. He's heading it. He's already started putting his team together. There's about 5 or 10 of them coming together very nicely. Now, whatever you invent or you think it can be done to the benefit of mankind, you can submit it to the innovation section, and there's put a 3% payment on whatever, if you want to donate it to the foundation freely, or if you want to make income from your innovation, you receive something from it. Then we have the distribution, which is building up to hundreds of distributors around the world, headed by Kevin Blundell in Canada. We have a structure where we are bringing a team of handling, promoting the products around the world that soon will be announced who will be heading the promotion side. Then we have a full structure as a research center here in the center, and then we had where I originally wanted to be, to head the spaceship program as a flight center here in the center, and that's where I will sit till we find somebody who understands the flight system, and then we can head the flight system from here. So in a way, the foundation is growing vertically. Overall, we are reaching, plus the factory which we have here, into several hundred people in less than a few weeks. But it needs organization. It needs people who we know and we trust to bring it in. We don't fall out with no one. We try to bring everybody in to be inclusive. Today, at about 10 o'clock, we go to Nigeria. The Keshe Foundation Nigeria at 10 o'clock opens up. They want to be on Zoom. Vince and Rick in the background, hopefully they're trying to link up with Alex. Keshe Foundation Ghana has been agreed in the structure of the government of Ghana with the Nuclear Center of the Ghana as an entity within the Ghana Spaceship Institute. So we are embedded. Benjamin is taking his place, and in a coming time, hopefully we'll join up with a number of people influential in the world of politics to be part of the foundation. They want to be part of the foundation. We have accepted collaboration at the university level with a number of the universities in Europe, and this collaboration will sit primarily through operation through Sofia University. We have come to an agreement, and we start accepting and exchanging people with Sofia at a PhD and a master's group here from next term. We are hoping in the coming time, in next semester or after, we receive Iranian physicists and space people here to teach us, and we collaborate with the universities in Iran. This is in the pipeline, but it takes a lot of time to arrange that we can get these people in position. We are talking and negotiating with a number of universities who have approached us to be here to share knowledge. So all this goes back to Marco. because the interaction between universities is part of the institute, not my job. Goodbye. You thought you were going to walk away free. I didn't say yes, but I'm planning everything in the background. He is like the Iranian. Yeah, it's like the Iranian women. They say no, no, and under the table they say yes. So this is it. It's okay. It's got to set up his territory. We will not from. So we are going in the right way. Today, before we go to Nigeria, I know Rick has a number of videos, people who made the sets, if you want to show it. And then after Nigeria, we go into the teaching and see where we go with the teaching. Is there anything for us, Rick?
Okay, let's see. We'll go with no particular order here. I screen share that. Okay.
We need a heater unit here, a small heater. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Let it settle this unit. Zero 44. Can we have the sound with it?
I'm sorry, I didn't share the sound properly. Just a second here.
That's it. Thank you.
Let's go back and try that again here.
Hello everyone. This is a short video just to show the unit working really good. I installed it last night and I'm making some lunch right now with it. 3 outlets there, drawing plasma from the unit. This is a resistive cooker here, and got the bulb and got the grill, cooking some eggplants, and so far so good. And still have to install capacitors and the meters to show the draws, what consumption and production. That's coming next. So that's it. Thank you to the Cash couple, Mr. Miran Cash and Carolina, for all sharings and everything. Bless your souls. Thank you very much. And we will share the knowledge with everyone else as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and let's see here. We can. What's the best way to go about this? I'll have to stop the screen share for a minute and light up the next one here.
Have you managed to contact Alex yet?
No. Vince, do you think you could do that in the background?
I've been trying to contact him.
Okay. Figured you would.
Yeah, he's setting his Zoom up this morning.
Okay, here we go here. Okay, we have this one to show. Make it bigger. Just a minute, I'm having trouble with my live stream here, apparently. I'll just reload there, Guy. It should be all right.
Very interesting. While you're working, what you have even before your Gmail on your top banner. It says tsunami warning. It's got Google News, tsunami warning.
That is a
It's just a favorite on his browser.
yeah, I normally take that off so you don't see my thing there, but now that you brought it up, this is a National Tsunami Warning Center for the Pacific, basically. So it gives you the last event detail when the last particular earthquake or tsunami happened. It usually indicates.
This is where you sit.
Yes, right. So we are up in this upper right part of this picture, and various events are listed here and so on. And for example, when there was an interesting one back in October when when you were hosting the workshop initially for the teaching and so on, it turned out, I'm not sure if this is the one or not, but at the exact moment the workshop was starting, there was an earthquake that happened nearby here. There's no tsunami from it, but apparently it was, there was an actual earthquake that occurred at that very time, and none for a week or two before that, and none for about a week after as well. So anyway, that's one site that I had listed as one of my favorites at one point recently when that became more of a priority to know about such things. This one in particular listed here is probably, I don't know, 100 or 200 miles away from where I live, for example. No tsunami danger from that earthquake. That was October 22nd. Anyway, back to the other. Okay, so here's let me screen share this properly. And we'll get the sound up on it and go back to the beginning. This is Roald Boom. And actually, I'm not going to play the beginning. It's got some music that may be possibly copyrighted, so I didn't want to play that. But there is, we can show the video itself here.
Okay, this is my MagGrab coil stacker. Also, I have the capacitor holders on the sides here. With this style, I've got 4 ready rod 5/16s holding it all together. That's so I can layer each coil. I can add also, if necessary, I can take them off to get in there. It's quite easy to work with. I've chosen to use this 1/4" Lexan Perspex. It's got a few different names. It's transparent, so we can see into it. You could use plywood to work fine too, if you have some around. So yeah, the layers. We're still going to do the top one here, but the layers also consist of which is suspending the coils. So it's not really rubbing, touching. and it just locks it in just nicely. So when you open it up, put it around the coil, just pinches it. Doesn't damage or put any pressure on the coil itself, just pinches the rubber. So I've made my measurements for each coil to be 1 3/4 separation. In total, 3.5 inches. And that is the dimension of my inner coil, which is very important. And then within that, we have the GANS ball. And the GANS ball is right in the middle. I've chosen to use these fishing floats. They're about 1.25 inches in diameter. And I've hollowed them out, and I've got these valves that I put in. And these little stems, which really sits well. So I've drilled out the top of my layer. Also, the layer that goes on the top and bottom of my coils, and just snaps right in and sits. So it's all lined up and centered. These are not full of GANS yet. And also my coils do not have any GANS on them. So with this compression, it just locks them in snug. So you can't move them, but they're not getting damaged. So I can pick this up to work on it and run my wires. And that's why I pulled out this cavity underneath. So I can run all my wires, all my connections, and keep it all sealed. My plug boxes. So we're going to add one more layer between 3 stackers in this situation. So I got to put a bunch of nuts on here. Each one has 4. When you work them in double combination, they will lock in basically. So I'm going to do 2 to lock in the bottom and 2 to lock in the top. And then I can also adjust if necessary, depending on the thickness of coils, quite easily. And then you can do it by hand. It takes a bit of time, especially if you're doing these lower ones. So I've just come up with a bit of old copper pipe. It's got an end on it that fits the nut. It goes onto the drill. Also, makes it nice and easy. That one hasn't been fully drilled out in the center anyway. Okay. Now we put our final coil on top. Lining up the holes that I've drilled so everything is centered. Then we have the GANS ball, which just pops in really nice. Then we have the top. It goes over the coils. That I've cut with jigsaw, bandsaw would work too. Cuts really well, easy to work with. And then finally, the layering on top. So it goes this way. Make sure it's lined up again. And then another series of washers. And nuts. Then you just tension it down until it's snug, just so it doesn't move without applying too much pressure. And there we have my stacker unit. Still need to obviously put the GANs on the coils and connect them, but for now this is just a little demonstration to show what I've come up with. It's quite nice. They're nice and snug, they're not moving around, they're not going to damage any of the GANs or the nano coating, and like I said, it can be worked on. You can take off, pull it apart, get in there, add some layers, whatever's necessary. Then we go to the capacitors. These, basically the same design as this. Once I built this, I thought, well, yeah, we could do the same kind of style, because you want to have the capacitors not mummified, not, you know, wrapped up in shrink wrap or tape. You want them to be kind of out and not heating up. So what I've done, I've just done 4 layers with the Lexan. The rod, in this case, I've put the tubing over. For that reason, so the metal capacitor will not rub against the metal, or not contact any metal. Then we have a demonstration capacitor here. This one is not finished. It's not even going to be used. I just have to make some more. But basically, what happens here, it slips in. And will be held in by a wire that will be wrapped around the top and the bottom. And that's for the energy. So that's going to have to be tied together anyway, and that's the way they're going to be locked in this case. It slips into these little grooves I have. Allows 4, and then also 5 on the other side. Yeah, so then again, it can be changed out easily enough, can be worked on. Very simple, quite easy to build. And yeah, once they're wired in and snug, it should be a good system. Yeah, that's about it for now. Maybe get some GANs going and get to the next step. Thank you.
Okay, that's that unit. Interesting development there. Interesting unit. Okay. Just go back to, let me find another one here, Mr. Kesh. Any comments on that particular one?
No, I watched a couple of his videos. I've seen him. He's working very perfect. He's a perfectionist. You got to see what it comes at the end of it. There is some points where you see, I was just explaining before we go online. We use plasma capacitors in these white units or the blue units. And in Philippines, they use standard capacitors, matter capacitors. So we watch which one responds, because in so many ways, the standard capacitors respond in a different way than the plasma capacitors. But plasma capacitors take a longer time than the normal capacitor to show its function when you connect it. But we've just got to wait and see how the others build up. This capacitor we've just seen, it's very interesting. But it's a very big capacitor for one single capacitor, but it's got to make 4 of them, put them in parallel, and 4 of them to put across the bridge.
Okay, now we've got another one from, this is from Michael Moore, and let's, you'll have a little bit of a hard time hearing his voice. He's got a problem with his vocal cords, but we'll let it play here and see how it goes.
Go. As you can see, my unit is fired up and ready to go. Here's the unit. Capacitor is underneath the bottom shelf. We got it. Positive, red, on your left. You have the negative, black, on your right. Gosh, oh gosh, I got a watt unit here. I split the hot wire and wrap the earth and the neutral back on itself. I split it and connect it and load it. I've got a 15 watt light here running. Now I just put this up 5 minutes ago, as you can see. I've got 2 more units like this ready to be tested. And also a pyramid with some crystal beams. They communicate with the plasma. So I communicate with them so everything can get done in this proper manner. I show you once more. There's the wire. It is one wire. Split it open. And I've got 3 capacitors hidden away underneath there, out of reach. Well, let's see how this goes. Leave it here for a couple of weeks. And then I move it down. I've got the next 4 or 5 rooms. About 4 rooms before I reach to the bottom. So this will take a few weeks, I think. So let's see how it goes. That's all for now. I'll keep you posted.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. And I've got a
Can
couple.
you see Alex online? Can you let him come in already?
Oh,
He's already on Zoom. He's watching it.
okay. Alex, you should be in there now.
Hello, Alex.
Sorry, Alex. You need to either turn your speakers down or maybe you have an extra microphone that's also on the Zoom or on the live stream. You have to stop having 2 feeds or we won't be able to have you. I'll try to unmute again. No, Alex, you need to. Alex, you may need to stop the live stream or some other feed that's coming in there. That
Sounds like he has a second computer inside the Zoom meeting that needs to be taken out of the Zoom meeting. Or left the audio.
Okay, I'll try it again. No. Hope you're getting that instruction, Alex.
Just wait 1 second. Alex, you got 2 cameras or 2 computers on. You're getting a feedback. You got a silent one or switch it off. Okay, can you come on? We're waiting for you. No, you got to come on the Zoom. Are you ready there or how long would you be? Okay, come in whenever you're finished. Okay. Okay, thanks. He's is going to come off one of the computers. We see a lot of new ways of doing things, and in the coming weeks, we're going to show a totally new, different way of producing the same kind of plasma for the power. As usual, as we develop it, we show you. And if you can bring the camera a little bit lower, you can see the two units on the table. We just see the top of them. Is it possible just to bring the camera a little bit lower? The process, as we said, we are learning all together in different ways. And in so many ways, in the coming time, we will release what we call non-dimensional power units. It will be in the next few months. And as we explained in the other teachings, the system is already operative. It's just a matter of commercializing it. Where, for example, when you have these two units here and operating in the house, you do not need to, for example, charge your telephone. As long as you are within the vicinity of your system, your phone will charge itself automatically, your fridge freezes, you do not need any more cables. A wireless transportation of energy for conversion to matter state, what we call vibration of electrons, is already in our hand. It's just how we're going to commercialize it. How we can commercialize it. We are waiting for these power units to come online. People start learning. And then with it, hopefully in the coming time, we release a wireless energy transportation. It won't cost much, but I've explained this before. In the coming weeks or next few months, we'll show you how you don't need any more wiring in the house to receive energy into your refrigerators or receive energy for your cooking. We have managed to create a high temperature heating, and I can even show you the pictures of it, how high it is. It literally melts things. So it's powerful enough for cooking or heating water. And in the coming days or weeks, once we establish the use of these units, we'll release it. It's so this is so powerful, it literally melts things. You can plastic or whatever, or you can heat up whatever you need to do with it. The heating in plasma has to be controlled. What we are left with is how to control it. Because it's not like a switch, you can switch it off. You have to disconnect somehow the plasma that doesn't get heated up. Otherwise your heating will be all the time on. This is the problem. The problem, as we said before, is not how to heat it up, it's how to keep the light off. It's when you keep the light on, you better don't switch it off. So this is, if some of you been testing with the capacitor world, is the connection and application of the capacitors, where they release energy in a specific way that creates and leads to creation of heat. That's for the physical heating. And on the part of the what you call plasma heating, where you feel the heat, then we use a condition where you produce a plasma on the level of the temperature of the emotion of the man. This is in reach, we can show it. It's actually built in these power units, but we can't tell you how to use it. The heating of the plasma of your body is actually built in these units. It's already existing in it. It's just to show the switch on. But it has to be in a way that emotionally you feel warm with it, and it keeps you warm. It's part of the structure. In time, I explain, and then you can use it because you have to do something with it, that it releases the energy at the level you want. It's part of the structure of the addition of the units to it. Have we managed to get Alex online yet? Most probably in the next couple of weeks, we go for opening of the Ghana Space Institute Keshe Foundation within the structure of Ghanaian Nuclear Center. We've been given offices, possibility of opening the offices and laboratories. Another possibility has been agreed. It's just how we're going to do it, that we fall within the framework. Are we ready?
Hi, Alex, can I hear you? Hello, Alex, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
You're right. We're not ready for you yet. We're just waiting for the congregation to come up a little bit. Then we started. We're still trying to install our equipment. Yeah.
Okay, so you need another 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, about so.
Okay, good, thank you.
All right, then. Thank you.
Okay, maybe we can have a look at another unit, Mr. Keshe.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's see, get this lined up here.
There is a woman who's made a stacker unit. Have you seen that one? She's sitting on the floor and putting it together.
Yeah, I remember seeing that picture, but I don't have that handy right at the moment. I made a mistake in the last person and said that it was Roald Boom, but this is actually his unit here. The last person was Jack and his wife Lida, Safa, and they were in a different place than Roald here. So this is Roald's second unit going live. This is about 4-minute video we'll show.
Left them so that they, whatever you want to.
Step in here, back to the start.
Okay, so this is my second system, the second McGrath unit that I built. This one is with the coils wound in the way that you have your drill in reverse, leading to whatever you want to call it kind of coil. The drill is in reverse. I'm not even going to say anything more. So I built this one. It's finished. I've left it to dry a little bit more, and I've hooked it all up, the capacitors and everything, so I could go tomorrow morning and start hooking the system into the grid. I wanted to show you guys what I've done this time. I've done everything according to the book. I've nano-coated it, I've drained it, I have gansed it. The gans is now made of mainly the three ganses, CH3, CO2, and this copper gans, CO. The coils have been drenched in it. I mean, literally they are almost mummified by it without using any cloth or anything, just 3 tips, and they're completely saturated. They're basically stiff. And I've hooked it up, I've checked that all, everything is fine, everything is correct, all my hookups, all my connections are correct. I made new capacitors, I've left them so that the capacitors themselves are dry, and I've made all the hookups. I'll show you a little bit close. I got this other meter that I ran a bit too far last time. I'm going to run it until 1.4 first. And I made see-through tubes on all of the connections. The in cables here, coming from the grid. The out cables here going out of the meter. Then I've gone down and I've hooked up the capacitors. There's also little clarity about the capacitors, but from what I can go back into the cache thing, the negative side of my capacitors is hooked up to the positive side of my wire, the live wire, and the positive side of the capacitors, which is the magnetic, is hooked up to the negative over there. Then my positive wire is going into my McGrath, into the negative side of my McGrath, and then it's going through all the coils. I've checked those connections, they're all correct. Ping pong balls are in there with the giant amount of GANs, and then the magnetic side's coming out here, hooked up to my positive wire, and then it's just going to go over into my plug, which I have also made with 2 see-through tubes to see any nano coating. And it's going in here. The positive side is on this side here. And then I've got my plug over here plugged in the proper way as well. And I've marked this LED lamp, these LED lights. This is a 7 watt LED lamp to be the first thing that's rolling. But I have a second set of capacitors which could hook up to here, but since there's no clarity about that issue either, nobody can tell me, everybody's telling me opposite stories. Some say you should put the negative of the capacitors to this side here, to the negative, and then the positive here. Some say the other way around. I don't know, you know, this whole story is getting a little bit out of reach for me to be able to continue spending so much time on it because, well, anyway, let's not make more assumptions. I really want this to work, and if you have any comments, if there's anything you see that's wrong with it according to your idea of what Mr. Cash said, then please give me the feedback.
Apparently, I was just told that Roald has a second video that might be more interesting for us here. So if we want to have a look at that, that might be better here. Just a minute. Oops. Which one is which? Or I think this is the one.
Okay, so this is the new setup with the coils wound with the drill in reverse. I have corrected a couple of things here. There was lots of dispute about the capacitors, which way they have to be hooked up, but I put the negative gravitational side to my zero, my neutral line, the black one, and I put the positive magnetic to the positive live line. And I did the same thing over here. I put the negative of the capacitors to this live line on this side, and then I've put the positive over here, so to the magnetic positive side up here. I got all my see-through, and I'm going to go live by just plugging the plug in, no load at all. I'm going to leave it till tomorrow, and then I'm going to start with one LED lamp. I basically have my plug over here. It's going over here. It's going to be plugged into this 120 volt plug over here. And my first load that I'm going to plug in with my light later will be this plug from this strip. It's going to be plugged in later to my socket. But I want to start off with just plug it in right now. It's the afternoon of Wednesday afternoon. So if I should have no spark, the capacitor should be dry. I made sure that this is my live line here, and this is my neutral line. So this is my live, and this is my neutral. This is my live. This is my neutral. Same thing for my plug over at the bottom. So here we go. Nothing sparked. And now at least my system is plugged in. And tomorrow I will, in the morning when I come in here, because I put this in my greenhouse now, I'm going to plug this plug in to there and start my LED lamp. This is basically the LED light that I have. Tomorrow I'm going to be plugging it in here as my first load going in. So that's basically the system. The good part about this hookup is I'm in my greenhouse now, and in the greenhouse I have all these fans. So what I can do is I have 5 fans up here that I can run. So I got 4 more plugs in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. I can start first with the light, the LED light. Then I'm going to plug in one of the fans, and then maybe a second fan, third fan, fourth fan, and then I can shift to my pumps. This is the greenhouse. I haven't been doing much with the greenhouse because of this McGrath project, but here's at least some nice mints still growing. But the beauty of it is I have tanks in here that I can run pumps on, and I got my tilapia that I can put in there and have the pumping around and filtering water with the pump. So that will be like a kilowatt load that can hook up. But I'm going to start with the 7-watt light, LED light. Then I'm going to go to these, I don't know exactly what these fans are, but these guys over here. And once I got one on there, I'll plug a second one, third one, fourth one, and then I'll switch to or increase even more by putting on a pump on the last one, a 110, 120 volts pump as well. So it gives me more load possibilities down here in the greenhouse. So that's what I'm going to start with for now. So, all right, we'll see how it goes. There, at least it's live, and it's conditioning, as they call it. The system is alive and hooked in, but without a load for the next 12 hours or so.
All right. Well, that's Rold's situation there. What do you think of that, Mr. Kesh? I'm not hearing you there. Oh, sorry, I have to unmute you just a second. Go ahead. Yep, there you go.
I follow this guy's work on the internet. I see what he's doing. It's perfect the way he's done, and he's following it up the way we do it, but he's still wrapping his coils, and we got to see how it comes. We all learn from each other, and that's part of the work we do. We try to get you a close shot of our setup here, that you can see how we set it up. We have on the Cascade system. I just received a call from Alex. He's ready to go. If you want to bring him in.
Okay. Alex, I'll unmute you. Go ahead there. Hello? I can hear you now.
So we're going to move on to the
Alex, can you hear us?
applications and some of the other things I'm going to show you. But however, now we're going to.
I don't think he's quite ready there.
I think he's ready. He's explaining something. Just wait 1 second. We get him online. It'll be very nice if we can keep a constant line going in Nigeria.
Try it again here. Hello, Alex, can you hear us?
Yeah, that's my.
That's
Alex,
your phone coming through.
Come on. Okay, can you start? Pardon? Okay, but can you start? You got to join in. Unmute yourself. Okay, we can see you.
Okay.
Hello everyone.
Hi, Alex. Yeah, we can hear you there now.
Oh, you look good.
Thank you very much. You have a word for me. All right.
You look very good the way where you
Are
are.
we ready, Mr. Cash?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cash. I was hoping you would watch me. I'll see the bachelor.
You got to bring the microphone forward. We can't hear you.
Oh, that is going to be really. You have to come very close to me.
Do you have a headset that you could use, Alex?
What?
Do you have a headset that you could use by chance?
I think, yeah, I can use one. Just trying to find one for you.
With a headphone, it's way easier if we can hear you through a microphone of a headphone.
Yeah, I'm going to try to install a microphone.
Floats on the moon.
Part of it is the bandwidth connection, and it may not be.
That's a microphone issue right there.
This is what we're going to get. Oh, there he is. Oh, they have the whole caboodle.
Okay, so what you'll need to do is you'll need to change the microphone on Zoom, which is beside your mute button. There's an up arrow beside the mute button.
Vince, your mic is way too hot and it's overloaded.
Okay. Alex, can you change the microphone?
You got to change the microphone.
You have to change the microphone, please, Alex. Use the up arrow beside the mute button. There's an up arrow beside the mute button. Please choose the microphone that you have on your.
Now we see what people see with what we do. Huh?
Is this one? Remove the speaker. Okay, speak again.
Is it better?
Oh yeah. No, try another one. Try another one.
Is it all right?
No, try a different one.
Try the other one.
Okay.
This is speaker. There's only one. We have only one option.
We have only one microphone.
Okay, connect this to here. Connect this to here. Just hold on.
Can you hold it a bit?
Just hold on. Okay, try it again.
Hello?
Try again.
Can you hear me?
No, still the same, Mike.
Still the same. You're still on the moon. You want to set up your microphone and then come back again?
He won't be able to unless he speaks.
So let's take this one off. Huh? Let's
Can you
take this one off. I'll take you that. Okay.
Hello?
Not yet. No, not yet.
No, not yet. You're still on the moon. You're coming through the microphone of the computer. You've got to change your setting to the microphone on your headphone. Hello? You lost him?
I'm just going to turn off his video for a moment so we can save some bandwidth.
Okay, no problem. We're going to have these kind of problem with.
Yes, we're not talking about the Canadian or European internet here. We're talking about the internet in Africa. So I'm very happy that we're able to get a connection from Africa.
we're going to have a bigger problem when we go to opening up a Ghana, because I know the problems there. And it'll be more or less the same in that part of the world. We'll see where we come to. While waiting for Alex to come in, after Nigeria, Alex and Benjamin moved to Cameroon and Benin and then Angola. It's all getting set up. We're getting collaborations from within the structure of the structure which is already existing. They're trying to link us up with them that we can cover African nations in one sweep. If you manage to get into the structure, which is initiated by the first ladies of the African nations, as is known, they have a structure of the world first ladies, which is the wife of the presidents and the prime ministers, known as the first ladies. The number of the current presidents and the what do you call it, the ex-president wives have got onto the Quechua nation structure, trying to set up that they run like a charity organization worldwide to support for food and health. And that side of the Quechua nation will go through the first ladies, what is known as a first lady course. When you become a wife of a president, they become as part of it. And now we are in that. They approached us and they are trying to get the position. They are not much bothered about their energy. Their interest mainly sits on the health and food. And they have started the first part of the program with them. And the first leg of this application of the health and the food will go into Africa, and Benjamin and Alex will head it. Starts in what do you call it?
Hello.
Hello, Alex. You're there?
Hi, Mr. Kashi.
Hello, you got your headphone?
Hello.
No, still not using that headphone.
We need to another heaven
Hello.
to get out.
Hello, Mr. Kashi.
Is that receiving or sending unit on, Alex?
Hello.
Is your microphone on there, Alex?
He's talking
Your
here.
microphone is on. It's gone.
Hello.
No, his audio is still there.
The audio is still there.
Yeah, we can hear your audio, but it's still using the computer's audio.
He says he's still using the computer. If you want us to hear what he said.
You got to change your option.
Anyway, we can put the speaker on this, then he speaks over the mic. The computer mic will pick it up. Let me start with computer.
Go.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Oh yes, much better, much better.
You're back.
Okay, I'm starting to okay. Okay. All right.
Can you put this video back?
Okay, start the video.
We need to
Okay, it's better now, Alex.
Oh, she is the
Just take a photo. Where is he coming? Where is this? Where is this?
Hello.
I think they're just getting the camera worked out again. Can you guys restart the camera, please, Alex?
Why don't you put a speaker here? So
You look like one of the football players.
Vince, my video is not on.
We can hear you good, but now we lost the picture.
All right, then I've started the video.
You sound good, but we can't see you.
All right, all right.
Yeah, this is better now.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Mr. Cash?
Oh, it's good.
All right,
Speak, it's easier. My God,
we can't hear you here, that's the point.
Nigeria.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, Alex?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rick. But
Okay.
if you can increase the volume a little bit because we can't hear really deep here.
Okay, try, Mr. Kesh, can you try again?
Yeah, can you hear me, Alex?
Talk to Mr. Kesh so he can try to hear you.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
You might need to choose your speakers again.
No, I can hear you, Vince. I can hear you properly now.
Okay, try again, Mr. Kesh.
Can you hear us?
Exactly, I can hear you, Mr. Cash.
Okay, I think you better sit down and speak. Then we can see you and we can hear you. You're not using your headphone, you're using the microphone. Just sit down in the front and speak, no problem. Now they lost the sound.
Small, then what
The sound really faint.
Mr. Cash,
Hello, hi, Alex.
I have to take the... Hi, Mr. Cash.
Okay, that's nice.
That's good. Thank you.
That's good. Okay, explain to us what you're doing there.
All right. Thank you for most launched on the this is the Cash Foundation in Nigeria. It's in a place they call Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. And then if you want, I can show you some of the audience and you can some of the speakers. You can see for some of them to come. But you know, this is Africa, so we have our own special time we use. Okay, that's all. That's all now. All right, I'm going to introduce the guys, the earlier knowledge seekers, which I've been giving the lectures to, or giving the information to, so that they're going to take it from there. So I'm going to introduce before that, Mr. Cash, I'd like you to give a short, a brief introduction of a welcome speech to the Cash Foundation Nigeria, so everyone understands what we're about. Is it all right? Can you do that for us? Hello, Mr. Cash.
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, I just wanted to give a brief introduction so that we can take it on from there. The opening, because you're supposed to open it, so then we can take it on from there.
Carry on. Wait. Explain.
Can you try putting your headset on, Alex? Is that working?
Okay. Can you put on this headset on this? Hello? Is it better?
Yeah, we can hear it. Yeah.
Okay then. All right then. All right. So like I was saying, I said if you can give it a short-term introduction for the opening, because that's your priority. So can we wait while you do that?
Go ahead. We listen.
He wants you to give you an introduction, Mr. Cash.
Huh? You want me to give you an introduction?
Yeah. I want to give an introduction because.
Let me explain very simple. What do you want me to explain? You already done all the work there.
That's true. I just wanted to put a bit of chip inside so they all know that this is Mr. Cash.
Okay, we give it to you. First of all, before you start, we got to explain what has happened. Alex went to Nigeria for a holiday, and this holiday has become a working holiday. He spent all his time teaching, And in this time, he has set up the Keshe Foundation Center, as you see it in Nigeria. In so many ways, as I said, the first time I met Alex, I spoke with him, he is the flagship of Keshe Foundation in so many ways that he gives unconditionally and he doesn't care who he gives it to. In the sphere of sharing knowledge, sharing everything. And it's been one of the greatest pleasures of being part of the Keshe Foundation, coming across people like him, like Benjamin and the others who are there to help with Africa. And as you know, we gave a unit to the ambassador of Nigeria, and now with Alex I congratulate you on what you achieved. It's amazing what you've done in a few weeks in Nigeria. It is absolutely perfect. Even making the banners, finding a perfect place to suit, and the people can come to learn about the new technology in a new environment. I had a very nice communication with the Nigerian ambassador, and what I said, there are a lot of Nigerians like Alex in the country. We just need to awaken them. And it's amazing how the diplomatic side of Nigerian structure here are actually puzzled by the way he's working there. He's been given a lot of, or he's inspired a lot of them. And in the coming time, we will see Nigeria become one of the main centers of the teaching for Africa. And mainly, we start going to Keshe Foundation Nigeria for the teachings. And it's fantastic. So we have two very highly competent people which are holding Nigeria in hands. One is Alex and one is Benjamin. And they are devoted to the work. It's amazing. Thank you for it. Congratulations to you and the Nigerian all together. You've done a fantastic job.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you. All right, I'll just introduce some of the first knowledge seekers that I've been able to transfer the knowledge to, and then they're going to show you what I've taught them today as regards the technology. Okay, to my left is, can you bring a little bit? This is Mr. Sonny Wilson, and this is Mr. Obio Ephraim, and then this is Mr. NS. All right. These are the students that, these are the first sets of the knowledge seekers that I've showed them some part of the applications, and then the theory of the plasma technology. So I'll give room to the first one, Mr. Sonny, to briefly introduce himself and then tell us what he knows about the plasma science. Right. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Alex. What is really interesting is we see the same standard of more or less Keshe Foundation Center in Africa as we see here, as we see it in China. This is
Okay.
And you can see even the makers. They could be how hard it is to set such a thing up.
Hello?
Hello, yes? Can we? Does your microphone work?
Hello, can you hear me?
We cannot see your face, and you're still on the moon. You have to move forward.
Okay, smooth down.
I don't.
Sorry, it's okay. I believe you can hear me okay, right?
You have to.
I came across a case foundation in October, and I was passionate about.
You have to come close to the microphone. We can hear.
Right now produce our graduate and our high units. On my left side, you can see we are actually, this is our gas production, and this is the CO2. The CO2 in Nigeria is actually light blue. I know your CO2 is white, but our CO2 is light blue. And here is our this is our formula and the CH3. This is our CH3. Actually, I have a discovery on the CH3 when I was working on it. I noticed that I actually have 12 volts directly from the CH3. And you might now, if I can on this, I excuse my voice. And if you can see this from here, I'm going to have 12 volts.
What he's saying is that
what I'm saying is
he has made a configuration that if you hook up the CO2 reactors to the stacker, you can get 12 volts out of your CH3 static reactors, and then that's what he's trying to show us. So you can have you have 11 point something volts, and then he's just powering the cells, the GAN cells with the DC supplier, which has just 0.4 volts. So that is one of the discoveries made by himself, which is very impressive, because for him to make a discovery like that after just about a couple of months of studies, to me that's quite amazing. So I'll leave you to let him carry on with his presentation.
Okay. This is actually the GANs. I'm just trying to be brief. I don't have enough GANs for me to actually start putting my cords inside. So right now we're just trying to get enough GANs to start putting our cords inside. You can see this is the little one we produce. This is the CH3, right? And then this is the copper oxide, and this is the CO2 production. So when it's ready, we have to go through. And this is our cords. Sorry. You don't sometimes that way. I need to wear the gloves. Alright. I have to be professional here. Alex, you this is Okay, Mr. Alex. This center is a training center. This is our training and mentoring center. You can see we have a lot of people right now. I'm going to turn in the video gradually again. So basically, here is for presentations and showing them how to do it. We have our lab away from here, but this is the training center and the mentoring center. So what we do is to teach them.
And then we have a workshop as well.
Yeah, we have a workshop too as well. Like here, we just try to show them how to do the calls. This is just a sample of how to do the calls. And this is a completed call itself. With the connections, it's nano-coated, lovely. And these are the calls to nano-coated. I bet you can see from here. Let me use the white background. And these are our capacitors. And this is the health core. This is actually our health core. We have the GANs inside, we have the cords, and we also have the GANs under. We have our 4 set of cords here. And we have the other one under again. So this is the health core. Like I said, it's just a training center for now. So I'm going to stop there for now.
Just coming a little bit. This head up, a lot of people have had success with it, because when you put anything you put on top and you drink from it, makes them go really. It can make them go without food for a long time, and then they have a lot of energy. And then I've made this cup for. We've made this cup for a lot of people who've been using it in some parts of the country, because this is the south of the country. In the central, we made this cup for a lot of people, and then even the old people. When they drink from this cup, they observe that the energy level has increased. So that's just it about this cup, and this is the one we're actually going to promote for the Cash Foundation Nigeria, so that we can have a lot of things to give to people who don't really have enough time or money to get their own food. That's the head count. All right, I'll leave it to him now.
Please, I don't need to show you the audience again, because I'm actually like full house right now. After that, I'm going to introduce Scorpio. You can give his own input about what he knows about Cash Foundation. When you did the other time, you did CV in the hall. You can see from here, Mr. Cash, we have people here. Right? These are all. You can see here again. No, he has to stabilize for them to see. Because you're going to see, that's what you didn't see. You can see here again. So we have full house, Mr. Cash. Okay, right now I'm going to introduce Mr. Obio. Obio Ephraim. He's going to just also throw light on what he knows about the Cash Foundation.
Hello, Mr. Cash. We are here in Nigeria, Uyo. Knowledge seekers here present. Alex has been here with us for some days now, and he has shown us a lot of things. We are sincerely appreciative of this opportunity we have had from Cash Foundation as a training and mentoring center. Visit into switch to Cash Foundation for people to come and trade that method. We have our own production center, the second floor. And all these are here to teach people how to live their life. Because in Nigeria, power is a major problem. Food is another challenge to us. So with this knowledge, our farmers are going to increase their production of crops. We won't have the problem of light much like before. And powering our cars is one of the passion we are into it. And we want to let people know how to use these facilities to power their cars and then save money for other things instead of buying fuel every time. I want to also tell you that in Nigeria we are passionate about this project, and Cash Foundation is going to bless this. We've made some discovery now, and we are going to do more. We have people who have already gone far in the staging mode about what plasma can be used for and how it will affect the life of Nigerians. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is let's look at it. It's also going to throw a light on the awareness of Cash Foundation too.
Hello, Mr. Cash. One of the things I discovered that most Nigerians actually want is ability to take care of their health. And as somebody who is a health freak, I like to find answers to health problems. I've also discovered that the use of simple nano-coated copper can enable one to develop what they call a healing pen. And that healing pen is very easy for anybody that would like to learn, anybody that would like to know. All you need is just a string of copper. And the old pen you have, you don't spend so much money. You just go pick up these things and spin the copper counterclockwise. In plasmatic technology, the approach is to have the gravitational and the magnetic to fuse in one uniform. And once that is done, it becomes easy. I'm going to do a very short demonstration. Right now, I'm not using any nanocoated cover because I didn't prepare that, but we know that for health, whenever you're doing nanocoated cover, you must leave it for longer than 24 hours, which is the better time for most nanocoated cover. No, I don't want to use that. I don't want to touch it in my hand. Okay, so if you use it at home, like this is a string of copper wire, you just do it counterclockwise towards yourself. Counterclockwise is the other way, and it comes like this. Sorry. And then when you turn it, respect your strings. You get it out, and you have a string. Assuming that these are few tons. Now, the idea behind plasma technology is that every unit, endpoint out of the pole must come back to itself. And so, with your simple system, you make sure that you get this, and you also do this at this other end. What happens is that when the energy flows, because energy always flows from the south to the north, by the time it's flowing, it reverses back to the south, and each time it reverses, it increases the amount of utilization, I would like to use the word power strength. Therefore, in order to get it much stronger, you get an additional signal, in which you also have to complete a loop. But remember, all the loops have to move and fuse with their energy flow. You pass it through, and at the end of the day, you get it out on the other side and loop it again so that you can have one simple like this that goes just like this. You know, this is a counterclockwise, and this comes back. When the signal which comes in, you now, after preparing this, you now get it nanocoated. Now, a lot of people don't really understand what nanocoating actually implies. But in this training, in this place, we're going to teach you the technology behind nanocoating. And when you nanocoat this, you leave it in the caustic. This is our caustic. There is how you prepare. A lot of everybody here will learn gradually, and you leave it for 3 or 5 days.
Because of the enhanced materials. When you make it enhanced materials, you leave it longer.
And when you leave it for a long time, you need to also do a simple kind of pole calibration. I call it pole calibration because each time you get your multimeter and you keep tapping a sequence, the reason is that it helps to break and create the required smooth flow of plasma energy. Then at the end of the day, the sweetest aspect is that you can just get your old pen. This is an enlarged version. You can get your old pen, put it in, and then the trick behind it. A lot of people don't know what GANs are. But GANs are like the major source of energy. And plasma is actually a mix of energy forces. So it means if you had a herb that is very useful, that you know in Nigeria is very useful in treating a particular ailment, you could fuse that herb with the GANs and still go further to expose your nanocoated wires, copper wires on it, and all the energy fields will fuse together. And then you will have what we call your own personal healing pen. How does the healing pen work? If you had, for people that have mild pains, maybe you have joint pain somewhere, you just point that healing pen to that spot. 10 seconds. And that is the reason you leave it to be allocated for a longer while, because the longer you keep it actually, the more strength it gathers. So by the time you leave it in that spot for a long time, the body, it doesn't really heal, but the body reprocesses itself to go back to a state of normalcy, which is actually, it gives you the energy you need and takes out the energy you need. And anybody that really wants to learn, you could create things for yourself based on this principle. You could create art if you are somebody that likes very hard, like I just imagined there. You could create art based on the gravitational magnetic assignments. And by the time the field fits in different places, they can help to balance the body back to a state of normalcy. And that is why, or even on this cup, you see all the, what we call spirals, electrical spirals. And you see a cup, they are all arranged in a certain way, using what they call the star formation. The star formation is simply something you could learn. But it's like having, say, each of these is a field of its own. And the form what is called the McGrath technology, and the star formation, once created, gives life to plasmatic energy. And for people that do science, the plasmatic energy is referred to what they call the ethers. What they call the ethers. The primal energy that somebody can use to create things in the universe. I do hope that all of us here will go through the videos online at cashfoundation.org and also come every day for practical, and any idea you have is actually very good, because with this technology you can change, you can make things happen in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. Alex, thank you so much, everyone listening to us. On behalf of Cash Foundation Nigeria, we want to thank Mr. Cash and Cash Foundation International for giving us this opportunity to serve. Because this is actually a wonderful opportunity. This is a wonderful opportunity that you guys actually presented to us and also presented to life. We want to thank Alex so much. When I came across Cash Foundation, I was searching for Alex online for almost 2 weeks. Because I heard there's a Nigerian guy that's called Alex. And I was still typing ALEX. I couldn't find it. I have to go into contemplation about it. I said, go to see Alex. The next morning, I went online and I saw him online. Actually, luckily, he's in Nigeria. And I sent him a message on Facebook. I told him, and we were interested, travel 9 hours to go and find Alex. So when I met him, he's such an amazing person, and his level of humility is just outstanding. So we are so grateful to Alex for taking the time to travel all the way from Benin to come here to establish this place and Cash Foundation Center here. Like I said, this is our best, this is our training center. This will do training and mentoring. We have our lab, we have workshop. Mr. Cash, we intend to go on food production because in Nigeria we truly need this. We intend to go on food production. So please solicit your support, and whatever it takes for us to assist us to start that immediately, we're really going to appreciate that. Like I said, we are really serious and we are ready for that. I'm going to allow Alex to say one or two things here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Sonny. Okay, for those of you who were not here yesterday, I know Mr. Ernest was trying to tell you how to make the nanocoating, which is very easy to do. If you want to do your nanocoating, for instance, let's assume this box is empty. Can you find me an empty? Okay. If you want to nanocoat this material, what I mean nanocoating, you're going to deposit sp3 layers or graphene on top of your copper material, which is going to make it look like this. So to go about that, you put a mesh. You have a mesh. Oh, it's a mesh. All right. To go about that, you put a mesh. Put a chicken mesh. Chicken mesh. Chicken mesh. Yeah. You cut the chicken mesh. Put it here. Just put a mesh in a container, and then you put the material you want to put in it, and then you put some caustic, not the caustic the one they use to make soap. You all know that. Yeah. You put for this container, it depends on what you want to put. This container is a little big, but for this container, just a teaspoon of caustic is going to be enough to put the materials in this one. So if you put a teaspoon of caustic in this container, and then you add your aluminum foil. Do we have aluminum foil somewhere? Yes, you have some. All right. You put aluminum foil in it, and then you put. I'll show you something that's very. And to make to complete the configuration, you look for a plain bottle. You chop off the neck of the bottle because you see there are rings at the neck of the bottle. Preferably we use Coca-Cola, but in this case we don't have Coca-Cola here, so we're going to explain it with it. You chop off the neck of the bottle and you put the chalk part in the solution with your aluminum foil, your NaOH as a caustic, and then your materials. And then what you do is you add hot water. You don't fill it up to the brim, you just let it go over the surface of the material you want to treat. And then after then, you cover it up. After 24 hours, you take out the material, use again. But in this case, you have to do the double coating. You see, the mesh on top. Now you raise the mesh on top so that you put a little bit of caustic this time, not a lot, but a little bit of caustic, and then you use the hot water to pour in the container. But the hot water is not going to touch the solution, the material you're trying to nanocoat. It's just going to be underneath it. It's just the paper you want to use to add more sp3. So after that, cover it for another 24 hours, and you use a voltmeter. This is a voltmeter. You can get this anywhere, but if you don't have access to the voltmeter, there's something you can do as well. If you take another protected material and attach a piece of tissue paper on it, and then unwrap it over with aluminum foil, you can use this part as the negative, and this part as the positive. So what you do is you use this one is negative and this is the positive. Imagine now that you have the aluminum foil all around here. So you use the negative to go on the mesh, and then you use the positive, which is this end of it, just to go over your electrode. So see, you use this one, let's assume this is the negative, it's going to be on the mesh, and then this one is going to be touching the electrode. Just use it to go over it. And then this process you have to do 4 times in the next 24 hours. After that, the materials are ready to do anything you want to do. You're all aware what you can do with a nanomaterial. You see this little piece of wire you're sitting here, it looks ordinary, but in reality, this can change a whole lot of things in the world. This can give you everything you want. Everything. It's just your imagination that's going to let you down. Anything you want. You want to transport yourself, this can do it. You want to heal yourself, this can do it. You want to feed yourself, this can do it. You want to move from here to the moon or beyond, this can do it. How? Because When you put this solution in conjunction with other electrodes like what we're doing here, here you can see we have, we're trying to make CO2 here. I don't know, yeah, you can see that. Trying to make CO2 here. CO2 production is as a result of the creation of the condition of CO2, okay, the plasmatic condition of CO2 with the zinc and the nanocoated copper. So if you put them in a salt solution, it's going to give you this. And this solution you see here, they're like a little sun. It's like a sun. Because each of them has its own energy. It will not be as strong as the sun, but it is a sun. So if you add some of those ganses, attach it to the body of the wire, which means you've taken a sun and placed it on top of the material, which is a material now can absorb its energy directly from the sun you attach to it. So anything you want to do with it, you can do it. Anything. If you have this material, you have this material, you have this material, you can grow your crops in the farm, you can heal yourself, you can treat your water with it, you can make oil. I know this is the richest oil producing state in the country, but unfortunately soon you're going to go out of business because individually you can make your own oil from your house because this is how nature does it. It's not because they tell us oil is going to run out soon, and it's not true because continuously produces oil because of the interactions of the feed. It's not that like they told us in the venting side that it's as a result of the fossils from the dinosaurs and so on. That is not true. It is actually a result of interactions of feeds of the creation of everything from oil to you and me. That's all. So I hope you understand briefly how to make the application. But if you're really interested to take it further from there, you go online, you go to the Cash Foundation, is www.cashfoundation.org. As an African student, it's free for the Africans. You can go online and subscribe, it's free. You have the access, they give access to all Africans free. No money you pay, but we as a foundation decided to make it free for all Africans. So if you're interested, you go online and then you sign up, you have access to all the materials. You can study on your own, and then you become free. I said you free yourself from the shackles of slavery, because you can do anything with this program. All right, I think that's about all. If anyone has anything to say. Right now, I'm going to wait for questions, and then if anyone has any questions to ask them, I'm here to. Yeah.
It's not a question. My name is John Kuto. I have a medical background.
Okay. You have a medical background.
Medical background.
Yeah, is it doctor?
So, yes, doctors, medical doctor. Now, this is the first time I've seen the face of the Cash Foundation.
Thank you.
Through you and your colleagues.
Thank you.
But I have heard of it through my son there, Ernest. And I have been very excited to be here.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, I had to take permission to be away from work because I think this is the way to go.
Thank you very much.
I just want to give you a little example.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm going to take you to the medical background, but it is important that I make the point.
What is?
If you look at the configuration of the man, like I am here, it has the head and all the parts.
Yes.
Now you can break that down into systems. That's the vascular, the blood system, the bone system, the brain system, the nervous system, things like that. And you can further break that down into the organs, groups of cells that form those systems. And you can further break that down into the cells. And you can further break that down into the molecules. And you can break it further down into the atoms. And there is a diagram which I saw in the medical book which showed this in a system way, a spiral way, in which you are supposed to read from left to right, go from the least unit to the configuration of man. But I am crazy, so I started to read the opposite. And then I went down to the level and it stopped at atoms. I said, why does it stop at the atom level? what is beyond the atom. Then we discovered that is the particles, subatomic particles. And finally, he went down to, I discovered that consciousness, which comes from source, actually propels all these things. What I am saying is this: energy is everything. And I am not surprised at all that this is happening. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Now you can see we have some people that already question. Okay, come on.
Thank you very much.
All right.
My name is Ekene. Well, I heard about this phenomenon from my friend, and my friend is very dynamic in thinking and also very creative. And I from somebody, when I saw this technology, I was just thinking, putting a within myself. And because of my area of my area of training, I'm a physicist and also I'm a mechanical engineer, I discovered that energy is the base of everything. In short, if you have the energy, everything can manifest in energy. If you stop energy between 2 points, you call it time and space. If you condense energy, you call it matter. Therefore, you allow energy to exist in free state, you call it plasma. So energy in a free state that cannot be scientifically liberated to be this or that is called plasma. Those conditions are called spirit. And the rational call as far as calling God, whatever I call it, it is energy itself. And if you know that, I want to realize that even as we are working, we are energy. We are energy, condensed energy. Yes. Just like my wife was telling me, I was talking here, let's be fast and go say what was 9 o'clock. He said, I'm here, what to say? I say, you're sitting here. I said, let me try and I'm going to put myself. because I couldn't sleep. From the day he told me, I couldn't sleep. Even if I've gone further to even seeing this in the dream. In short, people are teaching me now in the dream. About gams. So it is a way forward. I strongly believe the time is now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right,
you can't take the whole time.
Anyone else who has any questions on it, anyone has a question on anything about it? Okay, come on.
Morning, everyone. Morning. My name is
Can you speak a little bit louder so that
I can hear you.
My name is I am of the engineering field. My question towards nanotechnology, since we are channeling the health sector, is actually the effects that this technology will gain with time. I have some few questions because the technology I've actually gone through for some time now, and there was something similar to this I was trying to do with some other company, and I had some slashes when it comes to health. One of those issues were, what are the real harmful effects of nanoparticles, or how should harmful effects of these particles, nanoparticles, be assessed? That's one of the questions. The other one is, what are its real effects to the environment? Because if we are trying to put out something to ourselves and we don't actually take care of where we are living, we are not going to find ourselves actually amassing what we are trying to put out to the people. And it's environment that is actually where we are living. And we in the engineering field, we always think of the environment first based on whatever technology we are trying to bring. If it doesn't act well on the environment, definitely not good for us. So I want to know the positions where it's coming from, how it's treating our environment, and also how we can assess these effects. Another question.
Can I take it for first question is what is the side effect of nanotechnology to the human body?
How should harmful effects of nanoparticles be assessed?
Okay, I'll tell you something. Now, since the creation of humanity, since we discovered fire, you've been using nano to doing it. Because when you heat up your parts, your cooking parts, it becomes nano-coated. That is it harmful to you as a cooking pot? Harmful to you?
Right. I said with time.
Oh yeah, but with time, humanity has been using cooking pots ever since we discovered fire.
But it's nanomaterials.
Yeah, the kitchen pot. So the cooking pot is human nanomaterial. It's not harmful to you. And then another thing. When you clean your with your caustic, it's been going on for ages, and then it is harmless. Now, but maybe our researchers thinking that there's no harm in it, because myself, I've been using this technology for the past 2 years now. I've been feeling of it, and I'm feeling it. Initially, I use myself as a guinea pig. I can put a bottle of water in and then just drink from it. Or put drops of nanomaterials in my water and drink. But here I am still alive.
Okay.
That's 2 years now. And then listen, and then to the nature. If you put nanomaterials in your crops, like for instance, you put CO2 in your soil, the crop is going to grow 3 or 4 times more than what you had, than the one that has not treated. Did you get it? Okay, so see, I can tell you from my experience that there is no non-side effect in that.
Okay.
I say for now because from research we've been doing, there's never any negativity.
Okay, what I will put out to you is that you need to subject yourself to a Progus machine.
So what?
A Progus machine.
Machine?
Yes,
machine.
A Progus machine that can actually tell you how you expose yourself to the things you think you are bringing in as technology. I'm not trying to gather our minds, to what we are trying to have.
Yeah.
But my main focus is how can we bring this thing out without actually affecting where we are living, which is our environment. This is going to take time because we might actually bring this technology and we pass on. What happens to the people that are coming after us? I can bring it to the fore. What is happening to the world? We are calling it, what do they call it? Greenhouse effect. We have seen the effects it's ripping in the whole of Europe.
What's
America? Greenhouse effect.
What is called a global warming?
Yeah, global warming.
It's a hoax. I'll tell you something about it.
Alex,
Yes, Mr. Cash. Yeah, Mr. Cash.
Just in one way. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Cash.
Yes. The answer to these people and this kind of comment is valid.
Yeah.
It's not something you can dismiss.
Okay.
But the way it should be answered is in a very logical way.
Okay.
The very, very logical way to answer these questions is you use the caustic and he sees the matter to become nano, black. In other parts of the world, we use heat, we don't use caustic.
Okay.
Man has been making nanomaterials for thousands of years. From the time we learned to make fire, he made nanomaterial. So there is no fear of that. If you cooked in a pan and you heat it up to a certain temperature, you already nano-coated it. Strange enough, if you put a spoon in it and you put some salt to cook your food, you have already gas in it. So, nanomaterial and gas has been with us for centuries. From the first time you ever cooked in a metal, from the first time you swallowed a piece of charcoal or what do you call it, ashes from a fire, because these are all nanomaterials. So there is no fear of nanomaterial or the GANs because it's part of the structure. If you cook an aluminium pot and heat it and it goes black, that blackness is nanomaterial. So if there is something wrong with the way you are, or you find a place where you can't explain it, it's very simple. Next time when you go home, try to cook in nothing. Then you never cook in nanomaterial. Next time when you cook in a metal on a hot plate or a hot fire, and it goes black, and then you put a salt in it to cook your meat or your food, and then it's not there, you have already swallowed enough GANs material because you converted it. So in reality, there is no damage because we are part of the damage if there has been a very damage. In eating it, every time you put a piece of meat on a fire and you barbecue, you make nanomaterial. And then when you put it, after you fried it and it goes black, and you put salt and water in it to cook it, to soften it, you already convert that nanomaterial into the GANs. It is part of the structure of our life. We've been blind to it. Now we understand it. So if there is any fear in respect to nanomaterial, in respect to GANs, we keep separation and we try to keep them separate, is because the enormous amount of energy they give when you create so much of it. But from the first time man put meat on the fire and it burned, you already created a nanomaterial. So there is no dispute. There is no as such concern, health concern, what it's going to do. Because if there is something wrong with nanomaterials in the pot you cooked, if there is something wrong with the GANs, which is already with the salt, if you understand the process of how we make nanomaterial on the GANs, then you and me are part of the problem which we have created, and is us. And if you think there is nothing wrong with you, you're perfect, so there can nothing be wrong with the GANs or nanomaterial as well. So this is a very, very simple answer. It's just because, well, you've been unknowledgeable about it up to now. Now you've gained knowledge. Does not mean there is something wrong with it. If there is something wrong with it, then there is something with your structure, my structure, and every other human being which has ever eaten a cooked food. So it's very simple. There is no danger. We just try to be careful in handling it because of so much of it in one concentration. But on the other hand, you eat GANs, if you understand the structure of the human body or the animal, every time you eat a piece of meat. A piece of meat is a plasmatic GANs condition. So stop eating meat, stop eating vegetables, because if you have followed the teaching of the Keshe Foundation, you understand everything. Even your body is a container of mix of gases, not matter. So those who have this question, you have to understand if there is something wrong with this technology in respect to GANs and the matter and nanomaterial, then there is something wrong with you because you are made of it. And if you are happy with what you see in yourself, then there should be no problem with the GANs or the nanomaterial too. Every time you burn your finger, you create a nanomaterial. Every time you suck your blood when there is a pain and you hole or you cut it, you already swallowed a massive amount of GANs back to yourself. So if there is nothing wrong with that, there is nothing wrong with the way we understand and we develop this technology. You get a molecular structure, you heat it up, but you don't let it go, it becomes nano structure. from molecular to atomic, and then through the condition of different salts, you release this atomic structure into a plasma, what we call a gas. What you see as the green stuff, the white stuff, or the red stuff on the table. So if there is something wrong with any of this, there is something wrong with you and me and everybody else who lives on this planet. Because when you drink the milk from the breast of your mother for the first time, you are swallowing massive amounts of gases, which is conversion of energy. You don't swallow a piece of calcium and you don't swallow a piece of iron. You swallow an entity which is changed into a plasma. You call it milk, and you swallow it, what we call gas. So if there is something wrong with this technology, there's something wrong with the whole of creation on this planet. As simple as that.
All right. Okay. Any more questions?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Alex. Sorry. Actually,
Alex.
Hello. No, I just want to say I cannot swear that.
Alex.
Capture everything I said. So I would have thought that if you could just use it to paraphrase very, very briefly.
Excuse me, Alex, can I speak? Hello?
This man is
Alex, I would like to thank you for opening the Keshe Foundation Center in Nigeria. Can you hear me? Yes? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. I would like to thank you for opening the Keshe Foundation in Nigeria, and I'm sure in the coming time we'll see you opening different ones across Africa. I called you the Mandela of Keshe Foundation for Africa. You serve well, you devoted your time, and that's what it counts. In so many ways, we'll see the change. And I know Africa is in safe hand with you and Benjamin. And in time, what you set up, when I look at the center you opened in such a short time, and the center in China, the same center here in Italy, when you were leaving, I said, open a center which the foundation in Africa is proud of. And you've done a beautiful job. And I thank you for it, and I'm sure I'll see you in a couple of weeks when you come back. And then your mission goes to Cameroon. Teach enough that you can do the same. You're a French-speaking Nigerian, and Cameroon needs a French-speaking teachers. There is a point which I have to bring into this. We are looking for African origin people who work around the Keshe Foundation to be employed by Keshe Foundation. We pay you wages on the European level to go across Africa to teach. If you learn in the Nigerian center, we are offering a full-time job to African citizens to teach in Africa and go across the continent. We are doing the same in Ghana, and the same thing has to happen. So the opportunity of opening the Keshe Foundation across Africa is in the hand of the Africans. If you teach your students well, and they are blind to nationality problems of Africa, which I'm very familiar with, to make Africa one nation, we need you, we employ you, you get employed by your own foundation to teach across Africa within next weeks. Alex and Benjamin will decide who they take on board, but we have vacancies for hundreds of teachers. So it's in your hand, and I thank you very much for what you've done. And hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks when you come back from Nigeria. It's a beautiful center. It's as good as mine here, as good as the one we've seen in China. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. And congratulations to all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. K.
All right, what's my question is,
we're going to leave you Alex, we're going to leave you to carry on with our program here. You carry on with yours there. Okay. Thank you very much.
I'll just have him muted, and we can keep him online there, and he can still teach in the background.
No problem. Thank you very much, Alex. Okay, we leave there and we go back. There is something which we have to explain what I announced in Africa. We are looking for people who understand. This is a decision which is we discussed in the Keshe Foundation team. If you have managed to master the art of making nano coating, making GANs, understanding of the making of the coils, and you do it perfectly, and you're out of job, we need a large number of what we call teachers to be taught, initially here by Armin, and then we send you to the factories which are getting set up across Europe and across the world. Because when we employ people to make it, we've seen this problem here in Italy, people don't have an understanding of the way they have to treat and handle nano-coated materials and GANs materials. They think it's just black and they treat it like a piece of metal. They don't understand how fragile the situation is, and it's the fields they work on and now matter. And it has cost us thousands of euros to find out, and in a way, just because a guy can twist a wire, does not understand when you use a plier, you can scratch it, you can damage it, and the rest of it, and to him it's no different, it's just a bit of a scratch. But it's a change of matter to a plasma, a short circuit between the two, and the whole system doesn't work. So we are looking, if you think, or you can train yourself, we are looking for what we call industrial teachers. That you can go from the Keshe Foundation, a team of 2 or 3, spend 1, 2, 3 weeks in each factory, teach people before they start, and then we move you to another country, to another factory. We need at least, we are setting up some 35 to 40 factories across the world in the next 2 or 3 months. And if you look at 2 or 3 people with different languages, we need another 150 people to add to this team. It's be headed by, as part of the work of Armin, and we need you. Get in touch with the Keshe Foundation. We see what it is, the people who are responding to these calls, they will assess, they treat you, and then we put you in the factories. You got to understand the innovation side of the Keshe Foundation, which is headed by Brennan, is coming and is accepted or guarantees 10 plus products per month to be online for development commercialization. So the job for you when you accept these teachers of the factories is to be yourself, to be taught regularly with updating with the new products that you can teach the others how to make it. This is more or less a job for life. So if you understand the work of the nanomaterials, producing GANs, handling the structure, that's how simple it is. But now the knowledge has to be transferred into the manufacturing. I already seen this morning problem with the new units which is produced. I have to sort it out very rapidly that it can be sorted, because I see it now that we have systems on the table, it never been noticed. So we pass the knowledge to you that you can pass on to the factory, to the manufacturing side. This, what I call industrial teachers, we are accepting from today, not from next week or next month. If you think you can do it, you are a man who likes and speaks 2 or 3 languages, and you can go across your own country or across your own continent or different part of the world to teach the art of making it correctly and being able to apply it, we are prepared to take the challenge up with you to teach. So if you're looking for a job and you have been around the foundation and you've done the thing and you think you can be up to the challenge, send an email to the Keshe Foundation in the Spaceship Institute, to the webmaster or somewhere here. They'll announce it for the people who are looking for job opportunities. I think we have this under part of the structure. Am I correct, Vince?
Sorry, say that again, Mr. Keshe.
I said we have somewhere people can go to if they're applying for a job for the foundation.
Yes, that's correct. You can go to the Keshe Foundation website, the www.keshefoundation.org, and click on the Support FAC button, which will take you to our support center where you can click on the positions that we have available in terms of customer service, manufacturing, distribution, international Keshe Foundations, as well as volunteering for the Keshe Foundation and other human resources possibilities. So please go to that website and you can fill out the forms that are on there, and we can get back to you when we do require those kind of talents from the people of the Keshe Foundation.
Thank you very much indeed. So, as I said to Alex, in Africa, we need teachers to teach in Africa because we understand Africa to be a special case. In a way, it's not a special case. In African nations, you can travel freely inside and teach. Well, if you bring the African nationals to Europe to teach, it'll take months of getting visas and everything else with it. This way, they stay and they work within the structure where they are familiar with and are respected for what they do. It's the same with Europe. In European nations, we are setting up a number of factories. If you are become and understand the work of how to make these things, which are very simple, but it needs to be taught, we are looking and we are offering you a job opportunity that in time you become part of the structure of the full-time work of the foundation. Because there is a weakness in the structure, and then in that process, we need to bring the people who understand how to do it. One of the moves which we have made for those who are looking for manufacturing and you're looking for raw materials like the copper wires and the plastic containers, I have started a move which we announce in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, if we succeed, that we purchase directly copper from the copper mine in the same process to becoming wire and wires directly as gauges we need for production, because we teach you in the coming time different gauges are needed, different thicknesses for different applications. So what I'm working on is central buying, but the factories can call upon. At the moment, the cost of the raw material copper is somewhere around about $5 to $6 per kilo. By the time you get it extruded to the wire, you're talking 12, 17 euro, around about 17, 15 euro per kilo. They are trying to do a central negotiation that you ship all from one central place, one manufacturing, from the source at where the copper is mined, where the copper can be converted to a wire, and then you most probably buy it at about 6, 8, 7, 10 euro per kilo, which gives a huge pressure release from looking for material. All you need to go on the Keshe Foundation supply. You order 1, 2, or 3 tons of the material few days or few weeks in advance, and you get all the Keshe Foundations around the world the same supply at the same cost. The other thing which I'm negotiating, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, is the raw material for your plastic, because that's the only 2 things we need. Then what you need for building these boxes or any boxes as a plastic, you all buy at manufacturing cost from an oil producing nation which produces the plastics. You don't need to go through parties or whatever. Jeff DuPont in Canada is perfecting, as part of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing, the coil making and nano coating system. I think Francois can tell us something about it because he's involved in it. And then it becomes the molding. We can produce molds in every shape or sizes as you want. In a mass production, I'm paying 30,000 to 40,000 euro. We are hoping to bring the cost down. But this all takes time to develop, and we are in that process. So we received a large number of people who want to be manufacturers. This is part of the support which we can offer you. The copper coils and copper wires can be done fairly rapidly because the access we hopefully will come from the nation of Iran as a copper producing nation. We try to give, if we come to an agreement with producers, you pick up your copper coils as a major copper producing nation directly from Iran at the cost, literally bringing it down. At the same time, the plastics, again, we are entering negotiation again with the suppliers in Iran. As a major oil producing, gas producing nation, it should be easy to negotiate prices that we keep the prices down to the same level. This is part of the work I do with my beloved nation, and we bring it into the line. Now that the sanctions have opened up, we can take the support directly from the nation into advancement of the technology for the rest of humanity. So these are the steps which we are taking. Raw material from hopefully Middle East, machinery from Japan, China, in Canada, and then we allow collectively to see what we can do to bring everything in a rapid production. The process is very simple, trying to reduce the cost that we can make the technology available to everyone at the same time. Are there any questions?
Questions? Well, we do have questions. Let me just get this other mic set up here. Yes, questions.
If there is no question, it's fantastic, which means we are finished.
No.
We understood the whole
Here's a question that I haven't heard before. Can aluminum wire be used instead of copper wire?
Yes. If you are wise enough, you can even use the root of the plants.
That would be interesting. Perhaps a basket could be a form of coil.
If you want to know, even the intestine of animals are one of the best coils. I teach you one day. You don't need to make sausage out of them.
Are our own intestines a form of coil in that case? When we're alive and well, that is. I'll let that
Another question.
Let me see. How long will it take to have the effect on the car?
It seems to be a week or two.
Okay.
It seems to be a week or two. Or sometimes they say it's very immediate. The car units have been given a more or less a long extension cable that you can connect by placing it inside the car. You just got to find a way, because the unit is here, you can see it. You just got to find a way to connect it and leave it somewhere safe in the car. It's long enough to sit somewhere inside and to be extended to the outside, to the battery and the power point. I have some these wires for the power units. They're all with the Italian plugs, and according to what it is, it will be exported to the nations according to the nation's plug system or supply system. But we've got to see how they've done it because it's in the hand of manufacturers. Okay. We are not being to one production station to each country. We don't create monopolies. So, and secondly, to be one, nobody can see one of the reasons, as I said, I looked into central buying is because I already see problem with the coil manufacturing in Italy. In Italy, to manufacture coils, to get the direct supply on continuous basis at the right price is not easy for our manufacturers. The price fluctuation is high, and when we achieve maybe 50, 60 factories across the whole world, we are around about 35 at the moment. If you go to 50 and plus, and each one buys on average, every ton gives you roughly about 1,000 units. 1,000 to 1,200 units gives you 1,000 units, 1 ton average. So if you're producing 10,000 units a month, you need 10 ton. And then if it's 50 of you buying 50 by 10 ton, 500 ton is a lot. When you buy 1,000 ton, you can dictate a lot of things on the market situation. And you cannot do it with a subsidiary of a subsidiary of a subsidiary. Iran is a rich copper nation, and they have all the facilities to produce it. So all we need to do, how we negotiate with the people that we can get this done, that we can allocate so many tons, and if you're short, we can even fly a ton to you that your factory doesn't like, what do you call it, stay idle. This gives us a lot of opportunities. This central buying is just what I've done for years in my other companies, so for me it's a natural process. The same is with the cables, with the wires. Even we can negotiate with the manufacturers if they make cables, the coating be done at the point of production, which is much easier than becoming nano-coated. There are all sorts of possibilities, but central shopping is something I've done for years in my other businesses. So to me, it's logical to bring it and expand it, and all you need to do is the shipping cost.
Okay. We have a technical question from a couple of people. Sandag asks, I would like to hear the answer of Mr. Kesh related to the connection between magravs ending wires with the wires from the main grid. As I understand the plasma theory of Mr. Kesh, the two wires must be twisted counterclockwise, and between the two, there should be no electric or ohmic contact. The physical contact is made between the copper of the grid wire and the nanolayers from the magravs wire. Is that correct? Thank you.
Yes, you just twist them over each other. It's better to twist the nano-coated wire over the copper wire, which comes from the main, from the grid, than the other way around. And as we said in all the teachings, if I can go on the screen, can we go on the screen? I'm shortening it. It's okay. I think we can do it this way. When you make your copper wires for the connection, and then you twist it, you make your coils, and then you have, we've seen it with everybody we've seen today. Try to heat this section of the wire with a torch. You'll find you can do this before you nano-coat, because you make your coils and then you nano-coat it. Heat this point to near point of, what do you call it, near the point of softness of the copper, because when you nano-coat and then you want to twist this with another wire, you find it much easier. Rigid copper wire, it's very hard to twist, you find problems. It's just in the process what we are doing now in the factory, the ends cross very high temperature, they become softened, they call it annealing, and then connection becomes very easy in manufacturing. Even you can do it at home, you find the twisting of the wire hard, soften it. I've shown you the difference. The difference, Marco, we've shown this before, if we can show it. This is this we can go to. You see Yeah, to the camera. I try to come to the camera for you to see. It's this is a solid nano-coated copper without the heating, and you see the twisting is not so easy. Yeah, where is heated? It's just like a butter. You can easily connect where is not coated. This is a heated nano-coated. This is caustic nano-coated. You see the rigidity, and here you see the flexibility. It's totally different. So there are little things you can do to change, and you can provide it with a change.
Mr. Kesh?
Yes.
How you doing today? This is Kel.
Yes.
I had a question for you, but more of a comment. We've got several units in my group that's already made, but we're trying to jump ahead, Mr. Kesh, and I'm constantly trying to streamline things. One of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is when we have a working MagGrav unit, because these guys are starting to be, I want them in repetition. So once they produce one stacker, I want them to produce another one, and let's see how better they can produce the next one. The question that I have for you, Mr. Kesh, is I think that we can use a ready-made stacker to nano coat for us by taking the copper stackers and putting them and connecting them to the out of the stacker that's already working. Could you just comment on that one?
Can you explain what you said? I don't understand.
Okay, what's happening here is we already have working units that are in the house. They're already working, okay? Now what I was thinking...
Let's ask the question. You already have made units which are in the house and working.
Yes. So they are...
What is the outcome? What have you seen?
We've seen Coulomb barriers being made. We've seen different interactions from putting Gants in certain geometrical shapes around them. We've seen the difference so far in the nano coating in different kinds of ways. But the question that I have is, why can't I use the working MagGrav units to nano coat all of the other wires, all of the other stackers that I create? Is the question.
This is what we said you can do.
Okay, so with that being said, Mr. Kesh, then I eliminate the caustic and I eliminate the water process by just taking the new coils that I make and hooking them to the out of the MagGrav units that we created already, correct?
Yes, that's what you can. This is what we plan to do even in the factories, because one of the problems I explained last week was that the cleaning of the caustic in the factory cost €2 per liter.
Yes, sir. That's why I was saying.
When we increase the nano coating through the plasma, through our own system, we are looking at a 50 kilowatt unit, 100 kilowatt unit. The what do you call it? The innovation section are looking to buy the 100 or with 100 kilowatts.
Mr. Kesh, can we clarify that that's not available yet?
Pardon?
Can we clarify that that's not available yet, please?
Which one?
The 50 or 100 kilowatt system?
It's not available. We are testing. We are not offering it because we have received a kind of, people in Middle East, especially in Arab countries, they need like 20 kilowatt units. People in the state use 10 kilowatt units because they have a lot of air core system behind it. In other industries, they use 50 kilowatt units. So if we can manage generate a 50 kilowatt, even a 30 kilowatt unit, you can replace it with your car unit in the battery, because initially you need 30 kilowatt, 30 watt. So it's all sorts of applications which we are pushing and is tested. When I have to explain to you something very clearly, Keshe Foundation store is divided or is getting divided in 3 sections. One is for public. You go and buy 1 unit. One section is for distributors because they get a discount as a distributors. They sell or resell or place order. Then we are setting up an industrial section. which means the three-phase people in the manufacturing, the people who use 10 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt system for different applications in industry, people who do the heating systems, and all sorts of things. So you will not see that part. And the people who come according to what you have account for, you go public, see the front page as all of you do. You don't see the what you call reps section, which is headed by Karen, and then you don't see the commercial section. So the 20, 30 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, it sits in the commercial section, and it's for their application. A three-phase unit which is getting tested, again, all comes out of what you call it, the research development side, innovation. These all getting divided in that section. 10 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt will not be open to public. It's for industrial use or for a heavy industrial use. So that's why it's not available, and second is getting tested. We know we can do it. The coiling has already been made. All the coils, because it's a different type of coiling, all been tested. I think they started testing of 50 kilowatt yesterday or today. Is going on the test on the bench to test. Don't forget, as you saw in Nigeria, as you see in the setup here, as you see in the setup in China, the Keshe Foundation research centers will be equipped in the same level. They are building it up. It takes time to build this kind of thing because it's a structure by the people who themselves are new to the structure. So it's a process. I think we'll find balance somewhere in the next 12, 18 months. It's all progressive development. So the industrial side will not be open to the public, the same as the what they call the representatives.
Yeah, Mr. Keshe.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you about the results that I've been seeing so far.
Yeah.
So far, with the first MagGrav unit that the group hooked up from Houston, they have a 13-inch Coulomb barrier around it. It's really crazy. These guys are working all night and we're working all day. I spend about 12 to 18 hours a day just teaching.
Hello. Is that the group that we seen last time that you introduced?
I'm sorry, I broke up. I couldn't hear you.
Is that the group that you introduced last time?
Yeah, but there's a couple of other people that have actually added to the knowledge. But the group from Houston that I introduced last time, they actually plugged one up in his room. You know, he followed the process just like Keshe told him and put it in the smallest room. And when he put it in the smallest room, what he started to notice was that he would take his volt detector and he would wave it around the stacker. And we could measure 13 inches out on which it would start to pick up a charge. It would actually go off about 13 inches out. And we could poke into it and it would be a perfect spear. The second thing is that after leaving it in there for about, I think, 5 or 6 days now, he's noticing that he has the same thing that is coming around his television, around his radio and other things inside of his room. All right. One of the other guys produced a car unit. I'm not really sure with his results because I'm teaching principals over here. So I want them to make one and then repeat it and then repeat it and then repeat it. Because I think that what we really should focus on is I want to have some people that are teachers that are ready to add to the knowledge. So one of the things that I thought was very, very peculiar about it was that we were starting to still nano coat even more coils that we've already had coiled. So I was saying, why not put it to the working MagGrav and just nano coat it with plasma? That's what we want anyway.
This is what you got to do. This is what we are looking into ourselves in manufacturing. Because we see it done, but we have to speed it up. We can't wait in there to be done. In manufacturing, you have to create continuity. And so we use the plasma to create the plasmatic condition in the copper. So that is important. Once we achieve it, we show it how, because now it happens, but it's random, as the system does it. Then we have to see how we can extend it into the other levels that it can be speeded up, and the only way we see it is a higher power plasma system. You can put the material in the environment, get plasmas, and you take it out as nano-coated. So it can be done, it's been shown, it's been done, it's just industrializing it is the next step.
Just giving you an update on where we're going with it.
Thank you very much. Any other question?
Well, definitely we could go on here, Mr. Kesh. I'm wondering if we want to break after the 3-hour mark here, or carry on for further time.
Yeah, we carry on for a little bit longer. No problem.
Rick, I think Caroline wanted to announce those numbers. Could you do that, maybe?
Sorry, which numbers, Vince?
Can you see your Skype, please?
What are the numbers? What are we looking at, Vince?
Just a moment while Rick finds the information.
Okay. Caroline wants this data announced, which is, let me just make sure, which is there's 33,000 people registered to the KeshFoundation.org. I think that's what that means. And 26,000 are registered in the forums. We have a global reach of 0.00162% of the 7 billion people on the planet. That's 11,340,000 people.
And that is strictly for the KeshFoundation.org site. That is not including any other sites that are having information from the Kesh Foundation on their own sites. So when you advised before, when there was 30 or 40 million people around the world getting in contact with the information from the Kesh Foundation, you were definitely correct.
We have, because I told you, overall, looking at the 1 year, what do you call it, traffic on the internet. Our skilled people who look at the data, they tell us we have in excess of 200 million somehow over a year have been in touch or been across or have used the name on the internet. The reach is very big. It's just that we have to reorganize ourselves in a way that we can get the message across that the people can use the technology. My target is not to bring industrial application or household application. The target of the foundation is to set up a new way to travel into space. All these things are the byproducts. As I said, in the coming weeks, as more and more responsibilities of the running goes off my hand, and there are people with a high capability to do it, I go back on development and teaching, as we are doing in the private teachings of the Kesh Foundation Space Institute, the space motion. These are not distractions. These are part of the introducing the technology to public, and through it to add to the number of people who become the passengers of space in the future. I have no intention of, in a way, just because now we commercialize, to go back in and stop the space technology. This is, we're still going through in the private teachings, developing new ways of motion, and the public funds where most of people are coming through is what they're interested in and what the goals of the foundation is. A lot of people would like to help the foundation with a peace plan. We welcome it. Tomorrow in Rome, as you remember, in the what do you call it, the third ambassador meeting, we met one of the actually two people from Vatican. We received a call from them yesterday. They want to extend what we announced as a peace university to be extended. So we're meeting tomorrow in Rome to extend the peace through knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, and in that process, introducing the space technology in conjunction with the application of the technology for peace. Yesterday morning, we received a call from them. We didn't, of course, they've been in touch with us a couple of times since the conference. So we meet to set up the next step for application of peace in conjunction with the people from what they don't want to be connected, but in a way is they are put in front by Vatican. The Vatican tomorrow for this purpose, because they understand the process of what the peace is, what it brings, what technology is bringing. And this is part of the process. It's not just the colonization of man into space.
Mr. Kesh, can I just adjust your microphone a little bit there? I think it's a bit low in the volume somehow.
I'd like to ask a question, though, too. I just got a notice from Caroline regarding a person who put a post on to somewhere on Facebook a couple hours ago. And he has what he describes as let me read it here. I have built this device. It is just as everything should be, except it is all on a bigger scale, both windings and size. It has been running for 4 weeks. I have not bothered with measuring what it is using in terms of power, but I have a massive load on it. It's running fine. Now the big part. I could put my hand into, say, the field of it, just above it, and I cannot see my hand. I feel nothing. Just cannot see my hand. As I pull my hand out slowly, it appears again. What do I do next? I have shown my wife, and she has also done it, but I do not know what I have or what I have done. It is scaring me. Where do I go next? What should I do? And I am shaking just talking about it.
Contact my private email through the Keshe Foundation. Go through Webmaster.
So please send an email to webmaster@Keshe Foundation if you're listening, Richard, and we can get you in contact with Mr. Keshe.
We won't bring you in public, but we'll see how you've done what you've done. And then I was expecting this. So some people achieving it. If you do some powerful units, this is the expectation.
Another part of that, actually, underneath of it, I see in here, about an hour ago, he says, I cannot understand that if it is changing the structure, how is it coming back as I remove my hand? I keep thinking about Mr. Keshe about growing new fingers and things. Does it fit in some way to this?
I'll explain to you when I see how you've done and the way you've done it. Don't forget,
he does say that his hand feels normal. I'm just reading through these posts as I see them.
I explained to you this before in teachings and in part of the past teaching.
Right, but some of these people are new and they are experiencing this for the first time without having listened to all the past teachings.
Yes, okay. In space technology, you create a field around you in a way You create a plasmatic condition where if the plasmatic condition is the same as the environment, you become invisible. Don't forget, if you made the coils, use another coating, and you coated it with copper oxide and CO2, and most probably some zinc in it while you made the CO2, the field you make is very much the field of the human gravitational magnetic field. You enter the field is more or less the same strength, so there is no physical interaction. The only way we know we are there or we exist or somebody exists is when the gravitational magnetic field is slightly different than what the environment is or holding. So what you report or what you say is what we've been teaching for a long time. You can make the biggest spaceship invisible right in front of you. So now for the first time, you see the report. It is possible, and if you understand it, you go a step higher, you can see even the manifestation of the souls. And this is one thing I told you. I bring you a fish tank where you will see the soul of, blessed is his name, Christ, because a lot of you believe in it. Now you start setting the structure. Get in touch with me, I develop it with you, and I'll let you see it. Make it big enough that you can walk in, be seen, and not to be seen. It is the technology well known in the space, and I've explained this many, many times. Now, for the first time, if it is real and you can show it, you don't need to go public with it if you don't want to, but I teach you the things you can do with it. It's a very joyful experience because then you can make yourself visible and invisible as you choose. It's not magic. It was inevitable that these things will come up. But we've taught it a lot of time, explained a lot of time, where you are invisible, and then as you wish, you become visible. A lot of time in the teachings, in the private teachings, we always refer to it a lot of time. You're there, and if you create a right field that is in balance with the environment where it is, there is no interaction, because now this is the front field, not this. So if this field is in balance with the environment, there is no interaction of the fields, you don't see. And now somebody has achieved it. We'll get the report of people now they start working with plasma, a lot of things. As I said this morning, when we are in a state of being able to have wireless energy transfer. This process is part of the same thing. You create the plasma, which is in balance. You don't take any, you don't give any. But we'll see. If you have managed to do it, get in touch with the webmaster and just put on it, hand. We know who you are. And then we'll contact you, and then this is the way I do. I touch and I talk to a lot of people who come up with new things and they don't want to be in public. And that's perfect, because then I teach you privately what to do. This is how even we started with Renan. Do a lot of private teaching offline. Nobody ever listens. And that's how Renan and the team around him have been developed to this level of becoming an innovation, because they get a lot of time. I spend as much as can summertime. I spend nearly every day with them online. 1, 2, 3 hours. And then they have the talent. They've seen it. They've done a lot of work as a team. Now they start the innovation on that side of the Keshe Foundation. When I see opportunities for knowledge to be expanded in public and in private, people stay private or public as they want. You don't need to be known. Just get in touch or go through the way you got in touch through Caroline, and then we get in touch with you. But it's easier to come through the secure system of the Keshe Foundation Space Institute, or we'll come back to you for it. You have achieved something which we told a long time, and it's beautiful to see that somebody has achieved it so early. When you deal with the plasma and a much more stronger plasma conditions, you'll come across this. You have no choice. This is what we said. If we put enough units across Italy, Italy does not need to have any power stations. So the fields from one place in contact with the others will cover the whole nation. So in your case, you have managed to do it in a small environment of your system. You don't need the grid system. It's there, it's served as well as a human race. Now we're going to the next generation.
Is that because of the load? Because he does have a massive load on it. The plasma is reacting to the demand.
Let us see. This is what we just explained just a few minutes ago in respect to the what do you call it? Nano coating the plasma of the wires. I see now a condition with these power units which has arrived here. There's a lot of things you can do with just positioning them in the right way or a slightly different way. The loading is not important. It's how much plasma you can transfer which is important. Load is the barrier. What you block behind it, it creates is what they call it, field backup. When you put a load on, you look at it as a resistance. When I look at it, it's like a dam. You built up pressure, or plasmatic pressure. You don't look at it as a physical obstruction. If you extend this position, you can reach what you call transmutation of elements. But you have to know what to do it. You're in the right track. And if you want to extend it and head it, I teach you, and then you bring people around, teach, and then if you decide to go public with it, we give you room to go public with it. And at the same time, when you go public with it, like Ren and everybody else, belongs to humanity, not to you or me or anybody else. But one of the reasons we do, what they call it, high power units is to achieve that, because you need high power to achieve that. If you come to the private teachings, we speak about the control of the emotion, which is the highest order, to physicality. Then you can create that strength inside your emotion that while you're sitting here, I can't see you. I teach you this thing. It goes that way. Of course, you still got a lot to learn yet. Joanne is looking at me with a raised eyebrow. That's fantastic news. Please get in touch through Keshe Foundation, and as I said, they will put you directly in touch and see what we can do. We can carry on, or we teach you to take it further, if that is your mission.
Mr. Keshe, there's someone else that would like to make have a couple of questions here. It's Sylvester Besso, who says, I'm living now in South Korea, Seoul, but I'm a Hungarian businessman. Currently, I'm working to set up the Hungarian and the South Korean Keshe Foundation. I'm also interested to distribute and market the product as well as teach technology. I have personal experience working with nanotechnology for over 10 years, and he would like to ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay.
First of all, No problem. If you're Hungarian, you want to set up the Hungarian Cash Foundation, Sandor in Hungary, which is part of the management team of the Cash Foundation, is there. Speak to him.
Yeah, he's been in touch with Sandor already. And
if you are in South Korea, in Seoul, get in touch with the Korean people. We have a very large Korean Cash Foundation supporters, a large number of them. I know they're there because when I was in Seoul some years ago, I met a few. So in the past few years, they've grown more.
Hello, Mr. Cash. This is Sylvester Belso from Seoul, South Korea. This is my pleasure to finally have a chance to talk with you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to speak with you.
I'm really excited. You create a history, and we all would like to help these beautiful things to happen and rise up. During the 10 years I worked with technology, I come across with the same type of challenges I see you and your foundations coming across. So I think the knowledge which I gained through this experience can speed up the processes, all the work which I'm ready to put myself into. I'm also working with Mr. Kakashi, Shandor Kakashi, who is one of the leader in the Hungarian team. And currently we're going to start making the first unit in Hungary. And this weekend we basically started getting the supplies together. In the meantime, I've already started setting up a team in South Korea. I have a great network of international business people because the type of products we produced, we also distribute in many countries. So I think I can offer my help to your foundations and the works which you do on so many levels and so many layers. We have excellent designers, product developers, and I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you very much. Join us on the part of the Cash Foundation team. If you have a cross-section of expertise, we can use it and we need it, and it'll be a pleasure welcome.
Thank you.
With every part of the expertise, and especially if you work with Sandor, it's fantastic because you already know how we do the things we do, and international businessmen who see through the eye of the world are highly welcome because we need it.
Thank you so much. The type of levels I worked a few years ago, my company signed a contract with the Hungarian top IT company, and the Hungarian Prime Minister and a Korean economic minister was present, and it was a special signing. So I have connections levels in governmental levels and all different layers. So I also heard today your announcements that you're welcoming people who would like to learn and teach these technologies. I don't know if there's any chance that my wife speak of few languages, including Hungarian and Korean. She's one of the top person who speak these two languages in the same time, Hungarian and Korean, and she also worked many times translating information to governmental officials. So me and my wife would like to visit you and meet with you and learn everything. Then we can bring this knowledge back, and I do feel that I just not need it for the business purpose. I really would like to understand everything fully from the first-hand learning from you. You have an amazing teacher, Mr. Gulian, Armin Gulian, who I had contacted already.
You're quite welcome in that level because you have some expertise in nano. We can transfer the knowledge to the nano society very, very easily to people like you who already have access and be part of it. The beauty of our work is our door is open and the size of it is the size of this planet. Anybody welcome to it. It's just that if you're here to serve, and we'll see what we can do. We need experts. We need people who can handle and understand international language as much as somebody who understands the making of a nanomaterial.
As well as the 6 months of teaching that we already have available for all people.
Right, right. I'm already included in Caroline's message, special message board, where I'm receiving many very valuable informations. News chat group of 93 people currently. What would be the proper way to communicate and set up this visit in your center?
Speak to Webmaster. Our point of reference is Webmaster.
Thank you.
If you go through Webmaster at Keshe Foundation, then we see what can be done. If you have any talents anywhere across the world or anything you discover you want to do, the point of reference has been set on the website in past few days, past few weeks.
Yes.
You go there and we have application form or whatever that this is what you want to do, or we can what do you call it? You can add to the knowledge or the support of the foundation. We are there to do so. Now the structure is getting set. It's very easy for a lot of communication. We have put people now on a forest to answer to every communication. There is a lot of communication about the delivery of the units, the energy units, the power units, and the car units, which people are supposed to receive. We got to wait till we receive it ourselves. The factory is not releasing any data to us for reasons which are fully aware of what's happening. And when we receive the tracking number, we release them. Would release it today, next week, we don't know, because they are aware of the situation and the sensitivity of the situation. The beauty of it is now we're working as a huge team. And is in so many ways in the past 2 or 3 weeks, only what I call inactive, we kept out section was Belgium, and we have opened the tunnels. They're trying to set up the factories in Belgium, and as I said, I speak with them. I've appointed Willy de Leo as the man who do all. He carries my rights and signature for the Keshe Foundation manufacturing in Belgium, and Dr. Yvonne Michel and the team across Belgium have started gathering to actually produce these systems in Belgium, where the Belgian government saw it as one of the biggest ways to block it. We even gone that far to allow everything happens, but keep distance that we are safe. So any knowledge you have, you're welcome. As I said, we were served very well by Belgians, by the support of Keshe Foundation, people like Willy de Leo and people like Espan and Luke, who were the backup of all these things. They have served us well, but we accepted the lies of people who we thought they were close to us by forging letters and that kind of thing to make us understand that there were people setting things against us. But we have become aware of, we've given a full hand support, even investment in Belgium. It was part of the structure. So here Hungarian, we have one of the top guys within the structure of the Keshe Foundation, which is Sandor. He is literally sits on the management with all of us. And you are in the best hand, I can tell you are.
Thank you.
When you can go through Sandor instead of going through Webmaster, I was speaking with him a long time last night because he's setting a lot of things up. And you don't need to go to Webmaster, just ask Sandor, he sets it up and we see what we can do.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I'm fully understand what you're going through. Just yesterday night, I received the great news. My organization also undergo attack by thieves and international gangsters who would like to stop all these revolutionary things which are going on. And one of our servers was shut down, And actually, I just received the good news that after we provided all the legal documents, everything was worked out. So again, the reason why I'm sharing shortly this my personal experiences on business, because I kind of like feel that the past 10 years which I worked in different field, which not that way different, I kind of like received an experience which I can use right now and I can offer. I also would like to tell you, Mr. Cash, that I have great graphic designers, web developers, product designers, which these gentlemen already following your activity, your things, and they also would like to participate. So actually,
yes, please, Sylvester, please get them in contact with me at webmaster.cash.
Definitely. Thank
I would
you.
really like that.
If you go through Sandor, you're already in. Don't go through the webmaster, because then he has to send it to me. Let's speak with Sandor. He will set up a discussion, or what do you call it, a talk, and then we take it further how we can do it. You got to understand, this is one of the problems with organizations like you or us who works on the edge of science, and that is, if you came through a slow passage, not through a multinational, we create a lot of people who would like to get their hands on the technology because they see a lot of money out of it.
It's true.
And then, because you're not prepared to give it, and like me, you want to share it with the humanity, they make so much dossier against you that you become the biggest terrorist in the world. And because it's made in one country, security services, then everybody else accepts it. This is one of the biggest problems I have, and the Cash Foundation has, in this respect. People in Belgium, especially the one who was so close to me and all my murders and everything else, and the people who planted him in our structure, they, because he came from the same group of people, they have access to all the police, Interpol, and everything in their country. They're right. And then what happened? They make so much fun that everybody else believes it. You become Al-Qaeda of the Al-Qaedas. That's what they made. And now that we start manufacturing and the systems coming out, they started another process to make, we are trafficking and we're laundering money.
Yes.
And then they have spent a fortune trying to find what are laundering money, but the laundering money is coming from you lot. Now, we've been told in past recent, I don't even tell you the time, that the European police force and European intelligence has decided to circle any news which comes or instruction comes out of Belgium, because they realized this was the biggest fabrication they fell for, and the result of it was very interesting. We immediately received change of a lot of things around us, because until we set up the factory, until we set up the structure of manufacturing in Philippines and here, with the help of all of you, not us, then they see the technology has been there, is applicable, people are doing it. How can it be a terrorist organization as it was planned by the Belgians?
Yes.
There's an old say in English. It says, if you throw enough, excuse my language, manure, some of it will stick. And when some of the stick it dries up, everybody believes it. So it's the structure which has gone so far, and it was well organized. As I said, we are here 3 months, 4 months, 5 months in the south of Italy, more or less since February, and you've seen how the formation changed.
Yes.
Support was there. But in Belgium, every time we went to a meeting and somebody was present, immediately it was destroyed. For years we couldn't understand how come is this possible, because they planted the biggest enemy inside us. And you trust people and you speak and they go and they know how to destroy you underneath.
Right.
Something very interesting. You're talking about the nanomaterial. This thing puzzled me for a long time, and you've heard me speaking about it. I never left any of my nanomaterial with no one, except we gave a piece to IMAC. We were invited to go to, what do you call it? We were invited to go to European Parliament for a energy panel discussion. And as usual, I went with the same guy. And I went somewhere for a few minutes to speak with somebody, and I came back, and I was told, you know something? I took the material, they put it on the machine, and they brought the expert, and the expert says this is as good as Semtex. You're happy. They've seen it. Ask yourself one question for 1 second. Where did the expert come in the European Parliament who can say the thing is Semtex, and they analyze it so fast?
Yes.
They had access to a piece of nanomaterial, and they could analyze it. Who could do it unless it was right on the top of the structure of the Secret Service?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And at that time, to us was, wow. And I've mentioned this many times, that it's just like Semtex, because it was tested in the European Parliament. But yes, ask yourself, a few minutes, they've done the job. And you think there are friends sitting next to you. How could you bring experts for a few minutes? You could have access to a piece of material and analyze it and then tell you. It means you're watching you, but I was so innocent. You trust the guy who sits next to you as a brother.
You see, I had a very similar situation. My personal secretary worked with me, signed the proper agreement documents which was necessary. Then it was a European thief organization or group who was basically, did pretty much the same thing. So I'm really amazed about your personal life experience, because I can see a parallel things on my own. So. It is very difficult, very tough, but we all do this.
People don't understand. People, unless like you or me or a few, maybe a handful of people, a few hundred people around the world who've been through this experience, they think we're a bunch of liars and fairy tellers. It took me, after nearly 7, 8 years attending this meeting in the European Parliament, a couple of days ago. How can it be possible that for me, just being somewhere, a piece of wire left, because I did it with the Diamond Bourse Antwerp. The guy took it without me knowing it. He tells me it's a hole in it, blah, 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 blah. So it's the same. The guy who took it is a high-ranking Mossad officer. I knew. In the Diamond Bourse Antwerp, there's a huge number of people who work with Mossad. They are friends. We work with them. We understand them. And then if you know they're doing that, and then for 10 minutes, you just go to talk to somebody a piece of material, they analyze it, they know it's some Semtex and it's blah, blah. How could it be happen? Where did the specialist came from somewhere to tell? And so the specialist was there, they said this, and you don't think about it. But how can it be in 10 minutes they've done the job? So we'll be waiting. So we don't analyze at the time. We are so hot with it that we don't see it. It happened to me with the biggest magician in the world. The famous guy. No. Copperfield. This is exactly, it was a deja vu. Me and Caroline, our son, we went to Antwerp. Copperfield came to Antwerp. We thought we'd go and see him. We just saw him while we were crossing. Said, Caroline, this is an opportunity we can't miss. We'll never see the guy again. And we just walked into the Antwerp Sports Auditorium. I don't know, it takes 5,000, 10,000 people. And I said, Caroline, by the way, we said it doesn't matter because all the best seats were sold. And then, we took a seat, at least on top, we could see him. We go innocent, 3 of us watching the Copperfield, scared our chair. A guy comes and taps on our shoulder. I said, yes. He says, do you want to go right in the front of the stage? I can give you 3 seats. Yes. It's gorgeous. We walk, they sit us in front of a box like this, 3 of us. And then we watch, he's just a few meters away. And we were so happy, we paid, we couldn't get the ticket, now there are 3 seats. We were on top, now we are here. We're busy watching. And then what happened? In the middle of the show, David Copperfield appeared right behind us, standing on top of us, more or less. It was part of the show. He had to appear in public. Came out, I said, Caroline, you know something? We were the biggest fool you ever seen. He said, what? He said, they brought us from there. We are so busy, we don't find the guy coming passing us, so we never see it. So we were the fools, we were the magics, not him. because you're looking in the wrong side. But it was a good thing. At least we showed the shoes of David Copperfield, because he was behind us. It's the same thing. They come so close to you, you don't see it, and they rob you left, right, and center. They use it as a fool. And this is the same thing, deja vu, after so many years. How come? How come we go to Boeing, and they are happy, they invited us, and then suddenly goes flat cake? How come the only person knows I'm on the flight to Canada, to Mexico, happens to spend 11 days bullet to my head? Be told every day I'm going to be executed if I speak. I know, I've been there, and it's all planned by the people who sit close to you. And then when you open their hands, they build up the churches and everything else to call you a liar, because now the hand is open.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to push us to go against the Keshe Foundation people in Bulgaria. I never go against people. I wrote, I explained, they have a meaning, they have a job, we respect them. But now the technology moves on, they are there, we don't go against them. We understand what they've done, but that's how it stays. We take opportunities, we take risks, and my respect stays highly for the people in Bulgaria. Now that we've gone into the university level teaching and other groups that want to manufacture, no problem. But I don't go against the people who took us into Bulgaria with a lot of pleasure, with a lot of respect, a lot of love. I respect every single one of them. But they have an agenda to go the way they did. They brought the knowledge and the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation to Bulgaria. Now there are other groups. They want to do it. They want to say the other ones are wrong. Nobody is wrong. They're doing what they can or what they did.
Yes.
But when people come close to you and they rob you while you're watching them, these are the ones, as you've been and I've been, become secretaries, close friends, and then they find out they are there to serve the others.
Yes. Your mindset is very different than average business people, average people mindset, and these criminals, they actually working on a different mindset, so they could not understand.
No, look at their way. No, I worked a long time in the intelligence services, a long time in the intelligence services, and I've met the highest, most probably people in KGB, in Mossad, in CIA, in every security forces, the Chinese, the Japanese, and the rest. It's part of bringing such a technology, and my past business, I've been across them, I've been with them. If you listen to all of them, they're all right, because they are paid to serve their nation.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody else is an enemy.
Yes.
You gotta understand their position. So when somebody tells you this guy is the terrorist or this guy is going to be watched, they don't look at you as you are, what do you call it? You are something strange. They look, I'm getting paid to serve my nation. I have to watch. This is how the security forces work. So
yes, you're right.
You have to understand their point of view as well and have respect for it. I know what, as you know, we are involved in a very strange way at the moment with Mossad, with Israel, in the peace work. But at the same time, I'm loyal to my nation as Iranian. I will never ever sell my nation out. Doesn't matter at what cost. But I am in a position which can bring the two sides on the table. We've done it with the Americans. I've done it in Northern Ireland. And it's easy, but you have to understand the position of these people. If there is no enemy, they have no job. They have to make enemies to have a job.
Yes, it's right.
This is the problem. And I have been the enemy for years because the Belgians built me. When the Italian prosecutors and the Italian judge and Italian, police force has sat down and looked at the dossiers and what is come, how long the Belgians have got away with it. In the coming time, we'll see what the time will come. Because they came, when the guy came to poison me last year, he came because we know why he came to do it. He's an old man, he never had anything. He promised him, oh, he looks okay. I get $1 million, my children are happy. I never could give a couple of life to my children. I kill a guy, I'm dead anyway. So they poisoned me and my wife. I understand why he's done it.
Oh my God. Yes, you know, I'm actually also familiar with secret societies like Knight of Maltas and Freemasons, and there are also these organizations are great changes happening because, of course, the top is very corrupt and they are you know they would like to do a lot of bad things for humanity, but there are so much great warriors, so to speak. They're working inside these groups as well. But
Let me explain to you. You know, in the meeting of the president, the world, what do you call it, ambassadors 10 days ago?
Yes.
The Prince of Malta was sitting in that room. And he wanted to be there by indication and approval of Vatican. He's there, he wanted to be there, and he is part of the structure of we know where Prince of Malta sits.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So we didn't ask. He was sent as a messenger of peace, and we were told exactly what it has to be said. And working with the people at this level, I explained in my talks, you don't understand, but it was quoted message, and if you look, the camera was on him, he approved, we accept. So I work very highly at the high level. You had Prince of Malta sitting amongst you, you're never aware of it because these people are at that position.
Yes.
We negotiate, we talk, but at the same time, we keep respect. Unless we get attacked, then we defend ourselves. I was taught a very beautiful thing by world president. He said, Mehran, the problem with you is we never know what's in your head. I eat with them, they trust me with their children, they trust me with their family. The most worst thing is they trusted me with their mistresses, so you know how much they know I stay away from my wife. But now we see where we are. It doesn't matter what the attacks are. People in our level, people don't understand. World community don't understand what on the edge of science, scientists and organization go through. Because to you it's just a story, fairy tale. But we live it. And you most probably do, and the others will do. People in time will understand actually what the Belgians have done for the world community was they opened it so beautifully that all of you get the attributes of it. We suffered for years, but now at least you can make a small pen the way Alex was showing, and you can take the pain of a child away instantaneously. So I've served my purpose, even getting poisoned and being in prison for days in Canada. You don't understand when they stop you, and every morning at the breakfast they tell you, if you talk to anybody, Mr. Cash, there's a bullet. That's the kindness of Canadian security services. They stood my sister in front of me and they said, if you tell the press we got him here, he'll be killed. And I've seen her crying, please don't murder him. He will not talk. And that's the Canadian freedom. And we still allow, my webmaster is Canadian, the whole organization team is in Canadian, we still respect you because one man's mistake is not totality of the rest.
Yes, it's true.
Any other news?
Mr. Cash, again,
Please touch through the right channel through Sandor and we take it further.
Yes. May God bless you and may God bless everyone in Keshe Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shall we call it a day? We come back at 3 o'clock for the private teachings. Pardon?
Hello?
Is it?
Perhaps you want to take a break, Mr. Cash, and go for...
I've just been told. I haven't seen it. It hasn't come up. Or he lies somewhere about his birth date. Marco says to me today, This is a beautiful. I just received. I'll read you this text by happened. Is it his birthday today? I'm sorry. Is it true? We don't know. We better be quiet. It looks like it's Alex's birthday. Let's see. If he is, he's a very crafty one. No wonder he made the opening today. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. He's not answering. Hello, Alex. Is it finished or are you still there? Yes, I said, is your party finished? I said, is your session finished? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Is it your birthday today? Is it your birthday today? Pardon? Oh, it's not your birthday. I said, is it your birthday today? No, he can't hear. He doesn't want to give the truth. Maybe that's why he chose today to open up. He says busy. I tell you something which is beautiful when you read it. It just came in. I just saw it. Hi, Alex. Hello. Yes. Is it your birthday today? It's not your birthday?
In 12 days, I thought I heard.
12 days. Oh. Not today. Okay. Marco, you're wrong. Okay. Anyway, happy birthday for your center. I can't hear me. No, I'll call you back. He's going to call back again. He's very good in calling. You got to see, I just received this, just come up. It's just in past, arrived at 11:22. It's from Billy DeLeo. He writes, Mr. Cash, did not hear any more and hope you are fine. And it's beautiful because all the Cash Foundation people have got together to start the Cash Foundation manufacturing. Belgium police has intimidated this guy to a smithereen, threatening to put him in prison, threatening to arrest him, threatening to confiscate everything he has. And he does not wither. He stands solid. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you, Mr. Cash.
See you at, what's the time now?
Thank you, Mr. Cash.
10 to, we start at 2:30.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cash.
Thank you, Mr. Cash, for your teachers today.
Pardon?
I said thank you again for your teachers today, Mr. Cash.
Thank you very much. We all learned a lot today from each other.
And Brett wanted me to add that there will be a section on that new support area at the cashfoundation.org main page in the support area for people who want to get in contact with the Cash Foundation of their country and those who want to head the Cash Foundation of various countries can get together in that support site to be able to make contact and so on.
Yep. Thank you very much. We'll see you after lunch and with the private teaching. Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now. And that's the end of the 88th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, November 19th, 2015. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm going to end the meeting now. See you in the private teachings, those who are part of the online teachings.